Welcome to the VAFA William Buck SEN Match of the Day.
He has a bounce, he crosses 50, he pins the ears back, and he drills the goal! You can tweet that and hashtag it bloody good.
It goes high up and under the full foot.
Makes a name for himself with these long bombs from outside the arc. It's a long bomb from outside the arc!
Hello and welcome to Toorak Park for Saturday afternoon.
Point win, kicking 6 goals to 3 after half-time to win what was their 5th game of the season. And since then, Dan Donati's team have won 8 from 9. They've lost only to the team above them, Old Brighton, even as injuries have played their part in unsteadying the good ship Old Xaverians. And today we'll see the Zavs without their 2 champion midfielders, Sam Fisher
and Marcus Stavru, both out, and their workman-like ruck, Alex Spralia. But with some of the best depth in the competition, the Zavs seem to always find a way. Up today for the Claret and Stouter Blues side that has won its last 3 to nearly lift itself entirely out of the relegation equation. And a win today will do it for Matt Smith and his men. And with the ladder-leading Tunners to come next, not before time, as Collegians and St Bernards apply the heat from below. A critical game of footy in the VAFA William Buck SEN Match of the Day, live on vafa.com.au and the SEN website and app. Paddy Grindlay with you again this afternoon. The sharpest eye in amateur footy is Hugo Higginbotham. He's beside me. Our man Raj Johnston resumes his post on the boundary. But first, let's say hello to Brent Sternberg, who is beside me today to call the action from Toorak Park. Hello, Brent.
Hello, Paddy. I feel like some sort of mid-season recruit slipping into call with the fabled SEM and Brucey on the buttons, of course. Thanks for getting my name correct there. We're ready to go, aren't we? We've all had our sushi.
We have. Well, actually, not yet. It's a half-time operation.
Right, okay. You filled up on it last time.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a story for post-game, perhaps. This is, of course, the Saturday warm-up thanks to Mequicare, providing care for more than 16,500 people each week across Greater Melbourne and regional Victoria since 1959. As part of our pre-game show, we've got both coaches. We'll hear from Zavs coach Dan Donati just before the bounce, but Raj Johnston will catch up with the coach of the Blues, Matt Smith, very shortly. Before we hear from them, our man Hugo Higginbotham is here once again today for Hit IQ and its game-changing Protect Concussion Management System. Use the code VAFA50, that's VAFA50, to get $50 off. That's 50 at hitiq.com, HITIQ.com. Hugo, good afternoon.
G'day, Paddy. Great to be here, and g'day to you and to Buttons and to Brent and to Raj and just the hierarchy of the call team there again.
But Simon Petch, welcome back.
Welcome back. We're going to miss him today. But what an inclusion, Brent. Thank God. At least we know who the players are now. You never know when Petchy's out there. But what about the narrative today? We've got the Blues and the Zavs. Perfect day for football. The one day we're behind the glass, it looks like it's about 30 degrees out there.
Yeah, correct.
It's funny that, isn't
it? Yes. But, the Blues can still make finals. Then they've got that mantra, if we make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. Their destiny's in their hand. And it's almost like the Zavs, they just want these 2 weeks over. They can't drop out of the top 2. They just want to get in and sink their teeth into finals. But just got one fun fact for you, and I always love one of those.
Oh, God.
And
okay.
you know that I'm socials illiterate, but
sure.
But it came across my desk this morning that Cam O'Shea was in the Port Adelaide rooms last night.
Right.
Last night in Adelaide.
What?
Celebrating over there with them, and apparently he's at the ground now. But he has made the flight out, the flight back in, and I'm sure he had a quiet night over there as well. But that'll be interesting.
I hope he's at the ground right now because he's in the team.
Well, you might have to pull the boots on, Brent.
I don't know about that. Can I quickly just make a point on the Zavs? Saw them last week. What a win that was. My goodness gracious. They were down for almost the entirety of the second half to one player on the bench. And, of course, at times they had no players on the bench because they were working on guys, massaging them and whatever. They are the walking wounded a little bit. They're heading for finals, that much we know. They're leaving a bit of a blood drip trail there, but no team in William Buck Premier has depth like the Zavs, and we know that they're so tough to beat here at home at Toorak Park. Not quite Fortress Brighton, but they've only lost one game here this season, the Zavs, so they probably start favourites, I think, ever so slightly, despite the outs. Why are you looking at me like that, Hugo?
Oh, no, it's just that they haven't lost many games this year. So, but I think the Blues are flying.
It's a long broadcast here, so you've got to look after yourself.
Yeah,
there is quite the atmosphere here as well at Toorak Park to support the Old Xaverians, and to hear more about it, let's head down to Raj Johnston. He's with the coach of the University Blues, Matt Smith.
Thanks, Paddy, and great atmosphere here at Toorak Park this afternoon. Thanks for your time, Matt. A great win against the enemy last week. What were you most proud of from your team?
I think just a four-quarter performance for our best for the season, I'd say. Everyone sort of won their role out there. I thought all 18 positions we had covered for most of the day, and just their hunt right from the start, and all game was on.
So just on that, after losing a lot of the close ones earlier in the year, your side's really turned things around over the last month. Is it just four-quarter efforts or anything else you'd put that down to?
Certainly four-quarter effort helps, but just everyone playing their role really well. As you said, they're an understanding of each other's role, and they're all playing their role. They're accepting what their role is within the 22, and they're all playing their roles really well.
The Zavs are a well-drilled outfit sitting second. What will be the keys to victory today?
They're a high uncontested possession. They take a lot of uncontested marks. So if we sit back and allow them to use the ball, they are a polished side. So it's a hunt mentality for us, and just taking away that time and space from them so they can't use the ball.
Any changes to the team from last week?
Yeah, Trent Cossa's out, unfortunately, has a slight calf strain, but it opens the door for Billy Furphy to come in that half-forward role.
Should be a great game today. We cannot wait for it. Thanks for your time, Matt.
No worries, thank you.
Back to you, Paddy.
Thank you, Raj Johnston and Matt Smith, all from Equicare. That's devastating news about Trent Cossa, who is Hugo Higginbotham's favourite player. I know you've got thoughts on this, Hugo, but I've actually come prepared with some audio for those who weren't listening to our broadcast last week about why we love Trent Cossa just at the amount that we do.
Boss falling over, goes in the Cossa direction, who came for a few deep, kissed him inside 50. They got numbers forward, Churban's there, Cossa's there. Cossa, and it's a
Not to delay us anymore, Hugo, because I know that you've got some thoughts, but let's quickly throw it down to Raj Johnston. He's got the coach of the Old Xaverians, Dan Donati.
Last time you played the Blues, you narrowly got over the line. They're in good form at the moment. So how did you prepare for this game, and what will be the keys to victory?
Yeah, no, look, they're a bloody good side and they're in good form, and we've got no illusions as to that, to be quite honest. So, look, we prepared well, to be honest. We know how they play, but it's one thing knowing how a side plays and being able to stop them and then get the game in your terms. So I expect this game to be pretty tight.
Now, by and large, your reserves have had a great season. So does that just goes to show how much depth in your squad has aided you? Has that been a thing, particularly with injuries to some of your players, having that depth amongst the club?
Oh, it's been huge. I mean, you could tell today we've probably got 10 or 12 that aren't playing today across ones and twos, and eventually against good sides that'll get you, and that's what happened in our twos. It was their first loss today, but they've been fantastic. Everyone that I've brought up has been ready to play because they've been playing so well, so it's definitely been a help.
Just finally, any changes to last week's team, as you've touched on?
Yeah, there are. I think we had 3 changes today. So Big Spraley is out. O'Sullivan out as well, hurt a calf. And, of course, Josh Kennedy did his hamstring. So we've got 3 guys that are coming today. Homer comes in, Charlie Holmes, who played every game in the seniors last year. So he's not a bad in for us. He's played 2s all year this year. Big Oscar Duncan comes in as well. And I've lost the last one, but you guys upstairs will probably know who I'm talking about.
Yes, Sterling Phipps-Parsons, I think it is.
Sterling Phipps-Parsons, that's the other.
He's the one. He's a pretty handy in for us. He's a star. So, happy to get him back in.
It's a great day for footy. Hope you've got some sunscreen on. It's a cracker, and we'll talk to you later.
I won't need it here because it's the coldest part of the whole ground where I stand, so I've got my jacket on. Good on you, boys.
Thanks, Dan and Raj. Appreciate your time. Let's return to the point you were trying to make, Hugo Higginbotham. So for those who missed a bit of audio just then, so Trent Cossa, wonderful goal last week. Simon Petch called it the goal of the day, and even in light of Darcy Churgwin's 65-metre torpedo punt that went through at half-post height, he wouldn't change his mind for love nor money. Hugo Higginbotham, you have some insight for Hit IQ.
Well, we have to address this because there are rumours flying around that the reason why Cossa's not playing today is because you take your grandfather to school day, but that's not true because that's a Friday. Right. Is it take your grandson to work day? Possibly. 2 for 1 at the zoo, which is a very high possibility because Petchy is notoriously tight with his money. But the real reason I've discovered is when I was emptying the waste paper basket at VAFA HQ, right. I discovered a legal letter, an injunction issued on behalf of Mr. Simon Petch from his lawyers of the firm Sue Grabbit and Run. The letter states that Mr. Trent Cossa can only appear in matches that Mr. Simon Petch, the doyen of callers, is calling for fears of serious harm and ongoing damage to the brand of Trent Cossa, the brand which Mr. Simon Petch single-handedly built. Petchy has taken ownership of this kid and he's lawyered up.
Wow.
This is outrageous.
It is some outstanding research, Hugo Higginbotham, and I think we need to stop you from getting outside during the week.
It's unbelievable.
We'll have to break that down, I think, post-match. It seems quite serious allegations levelled at Mr. Petch.
Well, it's true. He got those lawyers 43 years ago when he first had to appear for a matter, and they've been exceptional for him ever since, because we know he's quite litigious, Mr. Petch. But no, it was bizarre, the ownership he took of Trent Costa and that goal. It was bordering on it's just weird.
When you say you've got something for the pre-game show and I text you on a Friday morning wondering what it is and you say, no, mate, we'll just wait for the day, as it were, I always get a little bit concerned, Hugo. So fantastic stuff. Let's straighten up a little bit. The tail of the tape for these two squads. The Zavs have won their last 5 match-ups. Not since round 8 of 2022 have the Blues beaten the Old Xaverians, but I think, Hugo, for Hit IQ, they do seem well placed to do it today, considering their recent form. They've won their last 3 games.
Oh, look, their form's been exceptional. They're playing a great brand of footy. They've got a really high defensive pressure game around the ball, but then they've got that intercepting mark game behind the ball, which is, that's their one wood. But they can score very quickly. We had the game last week. I think they kicked 7 in the second quarter. And isn't it funny how you get to this time of year and 1 quarter can define the narrative of a game? So 3 quarters can be completely level, and then just that 1 quarter blowout. It's hard to get those goals back. So that's something. We got sides who play 2 completely different games as well. Zavs have an amazing spread, overhand, overlap run, chain of hands, and they move the ball very fast. And they need to do that because they're probably, compared to Blues, they're a little bit smaller in the forward line. I mean, McIsaac's an amazing marking machine, kicked a lot of goals. But, the Blues, the matchup down there is going to be very interesting today. So I know they've got Ed Delaney down there, so he's another tall. So we'll be curious to see those matchups.
Yeah, the matchup that I'm most interested in is probably the one that James Stewart will get in the University Blues forward line, because he's such a mobile, tall player. And the Old Zavs, we were chatting to Dan Donati during the week, Brent and Hugo, and Dan Donati mentioned he didn't have anyone over 6'2", but basically in his defensive unit. So the job on Stewart's going to be one to watch. Raj Johnston will have his eyes keenly focused on that one. I reckon we might head down to Raj Johnston, because I've just seen a toss in the middle of the ground, and regular listeners will know that Raj's history of acknowledging the toss of the coin hasn't been great. Raj, what did you see?
Paddy, I've ticked the KPI. I saw the toss. Good news, the Blues have won, and a kick into the Malvern Road end to kick off proceedings to the left of your radio dial.
And what about the ground report, Raj? We haven't got Petchy here.
Oh, no, it's going to be hard to cover Petchy, but no, I did go out to the middle. A lot more warmth out in the middle than where I am under the cover, but a bit of a breeze to the Malvern Road end, nothing massive. The trees are moving a little bit, but...
How many goals? Come on.
Thanks, Hugo. A couple of goals to begin with, I reckon.
A couple to begin with.
How many's a couple? We're going to keep pressing you, Raj. We need a number.
A couple's 2 in my books,
okay,
Paddy.
Beautiful.
Well, that's great. You provided layers to that, Raj, which is really good. But watch out, because Petchy does lawyer up, so he could be claiming some ownership on that.
Can I fill in for Simon?
Go for it.
Do you reckon it's a 2-goal breeze? Really? It's pretty still. It's a perfect day for football. Sorry to throw you right under the bus immediately, Raj, but just about perfect, isn't it, really?
That was far too positive, I'm afraid.
Thank you very much, Raj. We'll be touching base with you across the course of the afternoon. An interesting element to this game is the middle of the ground, gentlemen, because it is quite sticky and sloppy, especially in the 10 metres either side of the centre circles. It appears that the sprinkler's been out during the week, and that will make for an interesting result for the inside midfield.
Yeah, you can see the cricket pitches there. You've got 3 or 4 of them, but the outside ones are really sloppy and wet, and I did go for a walk through there earlier. But the middle where the circle is, where they'll throw the ball up, that's good firm footing. So the concern would be when you get that release handball and try and get some overlap run out there, it is very slippery. So you can expect some wayward kicks coming out of there. But look, both teams have to play in it, so... better them than us, I'd say.
Yeah, so a little bit to cover off just for housekeeping's sake before we get into the footy. A reminder, if you've come to the ground today and you're listening to our call on the SEN app or SEN website, that you can actually use the SEN Stadium technology available on the SEN app, which is available to download on the iPhone and Android marketplaces. And you can hear our commentary live and in real time, and in some cases remind us of the mistakes we make as we make them. You can also watch the game in conjunction with the audio stream on VAFA.com.au, so you can watch the pictures. We'll be able to call it for the radio and video audience today, and just as well because it is a cracking day for footy. Right now, the clouds have cleared out entirely. We've got blue skies overhead, blazing sunshine on all the footballers today. And as Raj Johnston mentions, a little bit of a breeze towards the Melbourne Road end of the ground to the left of your picture or your radio dial as you listen or watch to this game of footy. Brent Sternberg, it's a pleasure to be alongside you for the course of this broadcast. You've seen the Old Xaverians very recently indeed. Do you take them at home today?
Yes, I do. I don't feel great about it, honestly, but from the Blues' point of view, if they can't beat the Zavs today, I don't know when they're going to beat them. They are walking wounded a little bit. I know they've got that great depth, but if they can find a way to win the game that they found to win last week, the Zavs, they can win any game.
Raj Johnston. Hugo Higginbotham, your tip today?
Look, I'm going to go with the Blues today in a very, very close one, but not with a lot of confidence. There are two completely different sides of the way they play, so it's going to be interesting to see which way this goes. But yeah, we'll go with the Blues.
Yeah, last time out between these two clubs, we had a 2-point ball game, but fortunes have changed, especially for the Old Xaverians. No Woodrow medalists in Fisher and Stavro out there today, so it's going to have to be the walking wounded in red and black to do the job. 2-point thriller last time. The first quarter coming up is for Marsh, ensuring the VAFA. You can learn more about that at marsh.com.au. But it's going to be the Old Xaverians taking on the University Blues, and today the Zavs will well and truly lock up a top 2 position for the Blues. 2025 still alive if they get the points today. Brent Sternberg on the call.
So we arrive at the penultimate Saturday of the William Buck Premier season. We're underway in the middle of Toorak Park. Charlie Furphy gets a little give to Grimley, who won the initial hit out. Tumbles the Blues inside 50. Lord brought it to ground. The Zavs are quick to get their numbers, although Lord backs up with a ripping tackle on Dunn. No free kick. Flying shot at goal. Won't score. It takes some of the chalk. And the boundary line out in the left forward pocket there. And the Blues are going to have a throw in about 5 or 6 metres around from the left behind post. For those that are listening on the through the SEN app, the Zavs are in their black jumpers today with the red bands going across, and the Blues are in the white jumpers with the blue socks, and they are deep in attack. The umpire hoists it into the ruck there and throwing a fist at it. There's a player in the number 10 who I don't have on my team sheet. Thank you very much. Goss, a little kick. It's a beauty up to Wanganeen, who was in the wars last week. He got taken off the ground a couple of times. Handball to Bilston McGillen, on to Hansen. Shrugs the tackle, now to Simeopoulos, and the Zavs build with great promise.
It's kicked deep inside 50. Ben Bilston McGillen puts it to the top of the square. Tracking it back there is Woodhouse. Lloyd's all over him. And it's through for a behind after all of that, Hugo Higginbotham.
Well, that was just evident of the handball and overlap run that you're going to see today. So that was from coast to coast nearly. So that is what this Zavs side is famous for.
Yeah, first to score, the Old Xaverians. Woodhouse in the one-on-one with Lloyd, who we anticipate could be thrown on to Charlie McIsaac. At the moment, it's the number 1, Nick Conway, who has the job. O'Shea out of the right back pocket, dumps it cricket net side. Big pack of players. Tregar threw a fist at it. Out the back it goes, and Fennelly kicks a worm burner up to left half forward. Handballed from inside to outside. It came from Nott. It goes back inside 50, and Conway is all over that one. He belts it out of play over the white line. Right back pocket for the University Blues. Free-flowing start for Marsh. We're just about 2 minutes down in the first term. The Old Xaverians one behind, the Blues yet to score.
It'll be an interesting matchup down there with Conway and McIsaac, because McIsaac is very, very mobile. I know he's giving away a bit of height, but that'll be interesting to watch.
3 critical goals in that white knuckle win over the Collegians last week. They would not have won without him, the Zavs. Phipps Parsons out to Hansen, who kicked a big goal himself in the early stages of the final quarter. He's wrapped up by Cam O'Shea. How did he get back to the state of Victoria so quickly, Hugo? Where did you tell me he was last night?
He was in the Port Adelaide rooms celebrating the retirements, I believe. Didn't catch a train back, that's for sure.
He couldn't have. We didn't get too far from the restart. We're out in the left forward pocket for the Zavs. One behind they are. The Blues haven't scored. Our first quarter for Marsh. This first term we have gone 2.5 minutes. Zavs going to the right of your dial or screen, wherever you might be consuming this match from. Simeopoulos, Hamish McIsaac coughed it up. Hurried kick out of the back line for the Blues. Lord in front, couldn't hang on. The Zavs arrive on numbers. Here is Connor Dunn. Quick give to his teammate who got offloaded as he got the kick into the 50. Standing in front, Darcy Churgwin takes a contender. An early one for mark of the day.
Won't see a better mark than that.
For Gorman commercial. It's a long day on the radio. Here's Goddard, left half back for the Blues. Lloyd ran on for him. He has intentions in the corridor. Here's Joey Ryan. He's number 14 today, usually in the 34. They like to switch their away and home numbers. Brent Sternberg, which is a tricky one to manage as a commentator. Another switch for the Blues on O'Shea. This time the right half-back flank on the long lead. There is Archie Lord. The kick carried him on that breeze. Jed Fennelly will track it down. An appearance for Richmond VFL this year. It's a low kick into the corridor. Curran should have swallowed that up, didn't. Gleeson came through. Running back the alley, go other way. Tregar, who's just about going to fall over in the mud. Handballs it loose. Not centre half forward. One more inside 50. Red and black numbers streaming forward. Phipps Parsons has it. Downfield free kick, I reckon.
I saw him sitting on hold. Yeah.
Might be going against Bilston McGillen, I believe.
It must be, because it would have been advantage otherwise.
Correct. Phipps Parsons was running into the open goal. He had the sticks in his sight. Instead, it's going to be in his sight instead of free kick. I'm still not sure where this is going.
It's going Conway's way, I think, here at centre-half back.
So Conway's marching back. O'Shea's got the footy, and OK, we're good to go. Centre-half back for the University Blues.
That's interesting.
They're OK with O'Shea at centre-half back here. Sends the Blues right up to half forward. Stewart will get there ahead of the two Savs defenders. Did really well to bring it to ground. Trigger the first one there to react. Slow to pick himself up from that contest was Lord, I think. We've got a ball up.
Yeah, that's going to happen when Stewart jumps over the top.
Yeah.
He's a big man.
He was the one that was standing in front. 46 metres out from the Blues goal. A scramble for the football. O'Sullivan's in there trying to extract the handball out. O'Brien with his head over the Sharon. Handball out the front of the stoppage. Bilston McGillen quickly off to Goss. He loves to kick the football, Will Goss, although he's turned it over there. At 26 disposals last week, 25 kicks. Will Goss returning to the team. Ryan on the outer side for the Blues. Straight line footy, up inside 50. Stewart's not quite going to get to that one, and jumping Jed Fennelly stands his ground and marks for the Zavs in the back pocket.
Good start from Jed Fennelly.
Start from hard on Stewart as well.
Correct. 14 and a half disposals, 6.3 marks this year for jumping Jed. That's not a good exiting kick. McIsaac reached for it on Lloyd. Taylor cleans it up with the Blues. He's going backwards. He wants O'Shea in the corridor, finds him. Edge of the centre square, pavilion wing, switches fields again. This is a good start from the Blues. O'Sullivan will track this ball down. Knott's trying to close him down. O'Sullivan sits it high on the breeze. It's towards the goal. It's carried too much for Jack O'Sullivan, and it's watched through safely by Tom Hart. A point for the University Blues. We are one apiece, 5.5 down for Marsh in the first term.
We've just seen on display there the pressure that the Blues put around the ball, and then the intercept mark game of the Blues behind it as well. So that's working well for them.
Goss short from the kick into Hamish. McIsaac getting a lot of the footy early, though, the Blues, aren't they? Trying to pick their way through the Zavs grid. Up to the contest on the wing in front. Really strong mark taken there by Woodhouse, who was amazing in the ruck last week. 55 hit-outs he actually had. After Sprelia went out with the corky. A left foot kick gets the Zavs to half forward. There's all sorts of Blues players in there, and Mitch Taylor, who was sensational in the derby last week, Hugo.
Just that intercept mark came again. These long high kicks are exactly what the Blues want.
O'Shea got the handball. He's running through the middle of Toorak Park. He bundles it up inside 50. Stewart will get there with Tom Hart in tow. Good tackle by Hart. Stewart took the footy. It's a ripper of a tackle. A pulverising tackle that took Stewart over the boundary line, and will have it thrown in. Now, what are these arcs here? Are they 45, 40?
I'd go with 50 because or else I just confuse myself.
Right. Okay. So we'll say this is going to be a throw in about 48 metres around at right half forward for the Blues.
On the eye test, it looks about 36 metres, but we'll go with 50. It's a crocodile roll tackle there, wasn't it, from Hart on Stewart?
We'll get Raj to step it out at quarter time.
So we've gone nowhere. We'll get successive ball ups right beneath the scoreboard. Still waiting for our first goal of the game. 7 minutes down for Marsh in the first. Around the place, waiting for the footy. Whitehead applied the pressure. The Zabs will fling it out into the hands like Goss again, who clears the zone. And there's our first look at Charlie McIsaac. He comes up a long way to take a second chance opportunity as far as the mark was concerned. And, just keeps it low and precise along the wing. Phipps Parsons. One of the great names in the VAFA, Brent Sternberg. Sterling Phipps Parsons. He's won his way onto the Carlton VFL list this year. Featured in 10 games for the Blues. Kicked 10 goals, 10. So a bit of numerology stuff. Long down the line go the Zavs. Woodhouse with the early fly. O'Sullivan takes the spillage for the Blues. Kicks it back down the far side wing. All red and black. Phipps Parsons involved again. Tackled well, as you mentioned, but he got the handball through Brosnahan, and now the Zavs working it through by hand out wide. McIsaac needs to flick one over the top. This is working in a phone box stuff, but it works out okay. Woodhouse from left half forward to the top of the square. Here's Charlie McIsaac spoiled away from him. And it's Mitch Taylor doing the job. Pops it into the right back pocket and says, we'll take the stoppage.
You just feel with an entry like that McIsaac doesn't need them in a one-on-one where he gets into a wrestle. His go is a run and jump at the ball. So he's got to get away. But they're good defenders down there, the Blues.
One behind a piece. 8 minutes transpired in this first quarter for Marsh. Woodhouse wins it down to Hanson, who was immediately clamped. And the umpire will say, give it to me and I will ball it up. Woodhouse into the ruck. Grimley beat him to it, knocked it out the front. Running onto it there, O'Sullivan. It pinballs around after coming off his boot. Whacked forward by O'Shea. Worked out all right, although Robinson's handball goes astray. And now here is Tommy Dunn on the runway from 30. He was able to straighten up. He doesn't kick many goals, Tommy Dunn. In fact, he hasn't kicked one this season. He hasn't kicked one in his career. This is game number 46. It's a behind for the Zavs. They've got 2 of them. The Blues have just 1, approaching 9 minutes gone in the first quarter here at Toorak Park.
There's a little bit going on here.
It's my man, Darcy Chergwin in there. Get off him, leave him alone.
Geordie LaCava.
There's a free kick to Mackay at the top of the goal square.
So I think it was Chergwin and it looks like Hansen who are unhappy with each other, but a free kick to Mackay at the top of the goal square, and he'll just pop through the first of the game, no issues.
So that behind then doesn't stand, I'm guessing?
It appears...
They've got it on the scoreboard.
Well, no, it was a free kick after the behind, I think. So it was off the ball. But
right, okay.
Greatest advantage. So I imagine what's probably happened is it's a free kick in a 50, potentially, because that would be the only way where Mackay would get the ball back. A point and a goal.
We've got the,
so one goal,
confirmation from the scorers beside us.
After all that, so Charlie Mackay, that's goal number 42 on the season, and he will get none easier than that, Brent Sternberg. The Old Zavs 1-2-8 lead the Blues, 1 behind, 9.5 gone for Marsh in the first term. And after a pretty end-to-end start to this game, that's a strange way to get our first goal of the proceeding.
Yeah. Kicked a lot of goals via free kicks last week, the Zavs and the Collegians. We're back in the middle. In the quagmire, it goes out towards the outer wing where Curran shares it with Chergwin, and now Robinson, and now Goddard, who laid that crunching tackle last week. His handball just went astray. Jack Robinson goes over to try and fetch it, but the boundary line comes a little bit too quickly, so it's out of bounds on the far side.
It was interesting, that free kick there, because there's a bit going off the ball, and there still is a little bit here and there, so it might be a lot of feeling in this game.
8 plays 1, 10 minutes gone in the first quarter for Marsh. Semiopolis, that was a stone-cold throw. McCulloch pounces at right half forward, drives the Blues towards full forward. Fennelly again, outstanding. Brings the Blues to a grinding halt and spreads the kick out to Hamish Mackay in the right back pocket.
Yeah, stellar start from the big V player, Jed Fennelly, and Mackay's kick is first class. Here is Semiopolis. I dare say this might be a legal disposal. He's called to play on. That's certainly a handball. Right over the top. Hamish Mackay again. Tight ropes the boundary. Brings it back across the body. Good Blues representation. The spoil came from Duncan over the top. And Chergwin, big tackle. You can rely on him for that. In fact, holding the footy. Hot whistle.
Very.
Sam Hansen. Didn't have much time. Chergwin takes the kick. Dangerous kick. Corridor side. Reaching Furphy. That's Charlie. Takes it above Phipps-Parsons. Handballs it at the bootlaces of... So Chergwin again, or LaCava, who lost his footing in the slippery middle of the ground, and he's gone. Semiopolis got him. You've got to be careful, Brent Sternberg, around that centre wicket area as Goss through Semiopolis and the Zavs work it out. Phipps-Parsons in the centre of Toorak Park.
Been a little bit shaky disposal-wise early on here. The Blues had plenty of the football. It's not the first time that they've come rattling through the middle and looked like mucking it up. Fennelly's kick goes very wide for Woodhouse. It bounces, stayed in momentarily, and then out of bounds.
I'm glad you got that out correctly too, Brent.
We'll throw it in. Normally I struggle with things like that. Just quickly with Fennelly, he is number 3 for intercept marks in William Buck Premier, so we shouldn't be surprised. The Blues need to just not kick it to him.
Well, that's exactly.
If I was the Uni Blues, I'd just simply not kick it to him.
That's your thing on the whiteboard.
8 plays 1, still the Zavs in front. They scrounge for it on the outer side. The Zavs pull it clear. Phipps-Parsons, and now through Connor Dunn. On his heels a little bit, goes on the outside of the boot. It gets to half forward. Good work there by Joey Ryan, I think that was, who does well to half the contest and absorb the tackle and force the ball up just outside the arc at left half forward for the Zavs.
This feels with the Zavs, they need one more handball from the middle of the ground because they're just bombing to half forward at the moment. It's playing into the Blues' hands. You're going to see a lot of the ball around here, I think.
Chergwin, 3 or 4 efforts. He paddled it towards the boundary. He only found Dunn, and now Goss just gets loose of one tackle, kicks it deep inside 50. Where are the leapers? Conway just plucks it clean over the top. From full-back last line, sits it for O'Sullivan in the opposite side of the goal square. So he's at left half-back, Jack O'Sullivan. Who's the older brother of North Melbourne's Finn O'Sullivan. Koroit boys. He's a big body too. Now LaCava. From 40 metres out of his goal mouth, they go into the corridor. O'Sullivan is going to run onto this. It's into that slippery area. It was taken cleanly by Robertson, and through the corridor the Blues go. It's a kick in the Stewart direction. Hart's on his case. It bounced wickedly for Stewart. Hart takes the ball. He's in trouble. Needed to clear the zone. Wants Mohammed out wide. Phipps-Parsons is with him at Koch, so we release the tackle on Phipps-Parsons at a critical moment, and as a result, here come the Zavs through Mohammed.
Centre wing broadcast side, Mohammed to Brosnahan, who fluffs the kick over there to Charlie Naughton into the lap of LaCava of the University Blues. And they'll look to swing it into the middle again.
Dangerous.
Here. It is laced with danger, but Robertson takes the mark. They get their handball up and running. The Koch now can run all the way to the attacking arc. Didn't quite get there. It's a dreadful kick. It's a terrible kick. It goes right down the throat of Dunn. That was Connor. And now up to Brosnahan. And he decides against going up the line. Handball back to Dunn. And they've worked it well here, the Zavs, although it's broken through the fingertips of Charlie Knott and trickles out of bounds on the broadcast wing.
Just as they kicked before, Mose, you know, if you're going to go for that, you've got to nail it, because he had Grindlay and Stewart on 5-metre advanced leads. So there'll be a bit of advice coming out from the bench for mine.
Just about to see Tex Wanganeen enter the game. Left shoulder heavily strapped. Of course, had the ankle issue last week. Brent, for your game, as the Zavs take the ball back over the white line. Westcott unable to work it out with Charlie Holmes.
We're seeing a little bit of fumbly stuff, and that's indicative of the pressure around the ball at the moment. So there's not a lot of time and space out there. That's probably why the Zavs are falling down with that kick they're throwing on the boot from the middle of the ground to try and get something at half forward. Playing into the Blues' hands.
Throw in. A Koch just wandered past Duncan, got the fist down, but it was taken away instead by Ben Bilston-McGillen, who kicks it up past halfway. Lloyd's tracking this footy. He's about to meet Delaney. He did well. Gave it to O'Shea. He's running backwards. He's going to swing it a long way across the goal mouth. That is a very dangerous kick indeed. Goddard's got it all to do under McIsaac. Pressure feeds it back to Conway. Koch is his target with a awkward snapping kick beyond right half back. He handballs over the top. Townsend has to take it on the bounce. Back inside LaCava. One way then the other. Hacks it back down the wing. Mohammed backing back. It'll clear him. Just had a little bit of extra on the breeze, I suspect, and it's taken there by Billy Furphy. Deep inside 50. Stewart over the top of Hart. Hart did well. He's done well in these first 15 minutes for Marsh. It's the Old Zavs 8 leading the Blues 1. The ball's out of play. Right forward pocket for the University Blues.
It was really good by Hart there as well, but the Blues aren't helping Stewart out with the way that ball's coming in. It's just a little bit too high and just for hope. I know he's a good mark, Stewart, but can't do everything.
At the throw in the right forward pocket for the Blues. They're playing well, but they need to find a major. Bilston-McGillen clears the area, but it'll be coming right back as LaCava lumbers in and takes the intercept mark right on the attacking edge of the centre square. The Blues in the white jumpers today going to the left of your dial in this first quarter. 15 and a half goalless minutes from the boys from the University. Long kick up towards the goal square. Townsend over the top, he's got it! Oh, he jumped right up on the back of Campbell Lane. He didn't complete the mark until he returned back down to earth, but he's got it. But now a tough kick right out there in the right forward pocket.
Now, as we say, there's plenty of daylight between the goals here. Let's just see what he goes with. He'll definitely go around the corner, surely. But, see, the defenders there for the Zavs were very conscious of Stewart, so he gave them the chance to get the ride.
In the gutter in the right forward pocket. He goes with the check side. 22 goals this season. He's got it bending too much. Too much. And another behind for the Blues. They've got 2 of them, so 0-2. And the Zavs are 1-2-8. We're going towards the 16.5-minute mark in this first quarter for Marsh.
Yeah, good for 3 contested marks a game. Ben Townsend, there's 1. Lane out of full-back, onwards, and Tom Dunn takes the mark, right half-back. So it's been free-flowing stuff, but not high-scoring necessarily on a beautiful day. The Zavs 8, the Blues 2, 16.5 gone for Marsh. And they'll go here along the boundary line. Wanganeen with the fly. It carried in Delaney on the second attempt. Mark the Brosnahan kick. Neutral territory right in front of the Zavs bench here. In the pavilion, broadcast side, Toorak Park. It's a high kick. Here comes Charlie McIsaac. He got an early fly. Probably illegally pushed off an opponent. Lloyd takes the grab and the Blues will switch the footy.
Both teams' intercept defenders are having a field day in this first quarter at Toorak Park. O'Sullivan goes leaping through half-back. Oh, well anticipated there by Tom Dunn. Breaks up the spoil, out to the wing. O'Shea goes off the ground, gets 60 metres up into the pocket. Triggers the first one there. He slips away from Grimley. Had a little look inside and then thought better of it and then kicked it out of bounds on the full. Or was he out of bounds already?
I think he ran over the line.
So we'll toss it in where the 50, we'll say, and the boundary meet out at right half forward for the Blues.
We'll get confirmation on that at quarter time from Raj.
Don't step it out, run it out, Raj. Come on.
Have they got a trundle wheel here at Toorak Park?
Raj has got one in the boot.
Zavs still in front by a goal. Charlie McIsaac, the only goal kicker. Woodhouse takes it on the bounce, kicks it up towards the wing. The spoils are made. Charlie McIsaac in and under. Handball out the side for Knott. Lazy's left foot kick up towards Delaney, who's out in front of his opponent there and taking the mark. And now taking off. He sees something he likes at full forward. Simeopoulos. He got taken high. He got taken high. It's going to be another free kick for the Zavs and a shot on goal directly in front. Or advantage. No. It's coming back to Simeopoulos, who will take his kick only 15 metres out.
I think that's probably the key for the Zavs moving forward, trying to get that speed of ball movement to try and get through that.
Tex Wanganeen, sorry, Hugo. Right arm issue. The trainers jogged out to him straight away. He got a pat in the back from an opponent, and now this is the non-strapped arm for Tex.
That's hanging that.
That looks not great, unfortunately, for Tex Wanganeen. Won't speculate until we know more, but he is looking in a world of hurt at the moment, Brent Sternberg.
In the back play, we're watching Semiopolis approaching 150 senior games for the Zavs. Well, he gave the goal umpire a little bit of work to do, but it sneaks in. And the Zavs have their second as we're heading towards time on in the first quarter. 2-2-14 they are, and the Blues are 2 behinds. The Zavs have an early lead, but they have a problem here. Hugo with Tex Wanganeen.
Yeah, that's not looking good at all. But also, too, Brent, don't be judged by if it's a goal or a point by the goal umpire, because I've been done week after week. I had one who stood in the middle and called points, one who would sprint across and call a goal. It was just, tough to judge that one. But that's not looking good for Wanganeen at all. Geez, he looks a bit despondent there.
Yeah, he's pointing at the right shoulder. Dislocated. You reckon, Hugo? Yep, okay.
I think. Not that I'm a doctor.
You are a 2-time premiership coach, though. Yeah. So back to the middle we go. Duncan, O'Brien chasing it for the Blues. Couldn't take it cleanly. Semiopolis, big bump, lays on Churgwin, and then lays a big tackle on O'Shea. He's involved. There's Dennis. The Koch got a handball through. It's all scrappy stuff at the bootlaces, but the Zavs storming through the contest. Ben Bilston McGillen from 50. No. To the right-hand side, he misses. The Zavs 2-3-15. The Blues 2 behinds. Just about time on for Marsh in this first term. The Zavs, it's the same as the game last week, Brent Sternberg against Collegians. Injuries again, and it's again Wanganeen.
Yeah, they've got the score on the board early, though. I think we've probably had more than 50% of the game played in the Blues half. They just haven't been able to capitalise. So it's good by the Zavs. Been very effective moving forward.
O'Shea with kicking duties for the Blues. Down by 13 points. Time on first quarter. That's for Marsh. O'Shea elects to take it towards the outer side. There's all sorts of high flyers. No one able to latch on. That comes underfoot for Connor Dunn, who's stuck immediately in the tackle. The Zavs, of course, here today. They're gunning for their 14th win of the season. We know they'll be playing in the finals. Will the Blues? Potentially, but they'll have to win today. Lane gets the Zavs up near half forward. Out in front, Phipps Parsons. Terrific handball to Lane, who kept on running. Kick inside 50. Delaney was on the lead. In and out of his hands. Mackay-Zack tried a deft little touch there to Semiopolis. The Blues are back here in numbers. O'Shea couldn't pick it up. It's 20 from the goal mouth. Handball back towards the goal square. They should be able to get out here, the Blues. Joey Ryan gets the kick back out towards the flank, but it's intercepted. And it'll be coming back. Westcott has an option pop open out in the pocket, but well done. Mitch Lloyd read it from a mile back and comes in and takes the mark for the Blues.
21 touches, 12 marks, 7 of them intercept grabs last week for Mitch Lloyd.
He was excellent last week, wasn't he?
He is supreme across the defensive half.
This guy was as well for the Zavs. Mohammed,
in front of Townsend, which is no mean feat. Moves it up. Here's Campbell Lane. Had the tag last week. Might have some space on the expanses of Toorak Park today. He's cricket net side wing. Kicks it now inside 50. Delaney's a few back. Oh, he actually had an unimpeded run, but he just slipped it through the fingers. Semiopolis again? Surely not. Dennis, the menace. The 32-year-old has 2. And he's on for a big day, you suspect, Dennis Semiopolis. The Zavs have their 3rd goal of the afternoon. 3-3-21, plays 2 behinds. It's the Old Zavs by 19 points, 22 minutes down the first term for Marsh.
Yeah, so they seem to be capitalising on the intercept marks. They take those to ripper by Mohammed there and use the ball really well moving forward and just those opportunistic goals. So that's great play by the Zavs, considering they probably haven't had the best of the quarter in terms of possession.
Well, we did say this with Dan Donati on the phone the other day, Hugo. We were talking about Makuch Mohammed and how he'd started life as a forward this year in 2025. He was thrown back into great effect, and now he's doing it at senior level.
Excellent work by him there. Good intercept mark.
Back in the middle, Zavs up by 19 points and going well. Hanson tried to throw it on the boot. Then it went to Duncan. It clears the initial pack. It bounces 30 from goal. It's taken away, though, by the Blues. Coughed up, however, to Woodhouse, who sidestepped with a couple and snaps a goal. And it's one-way traffic at Toorak Park. The red and black have come to play.
So, well, one thing that's evident, and a lot of goals have come from that, is the forward defensive pressure of the Zavs is far superior to the Blues at the moment. Blues have had their opportunities, but the Zavs have been able to walk it out of the Blues forward line, whereas the Blues are struggling to get out of the Zavs forward line, purely on that defensive pressure they put around. It's excellent.
The inside 50s would be pretty even. In fact, the Blues might even be in front, but they just look like absolute terriers when it goes inside 50, the Zavs. They look like scoring.
And one thing building now, that's 4 goals 3 to no goals. That's scoreboard pressure as well.
Yeah, 25-point lead already Dangerous signs here for the University Blues. As you mentioned, Brent Sternberg, they need to win today to be any chance in featuring in finals. It's an unlikely chance even if they do win, but the carrot is there. Repeat stoppages in the middle. Sherwin roves the Duncan tap. He was dispossessed. O'Sullivan's now there. Taylor into the midfield, spreads the handball. O'Brien tries to track it down, was dragged off the footy, I suspect, and he'll get the free kick. 70 metres out from goal. O'Sullivan is the sideways option. O'Brien has intentions further on. Fennelly in the hole. Brave held on. Stewart was rampaging up at him. Jed Fennelly, they called his number. He holds on to the intercept mark.
Oh, he's going to give it straight back here, Fennelly. A piercing kick outside the defensive 50. The Blues take the mark, however, and they're going to be coming back momentarily with a short kick. Can they hit up an option? Put it on the head of Robinson. The spoil is made. Lord runs past it. Duncan gets back to lend a hand in the back pocket. Handball off to Muhammad, who kicks quickly to the outer side. Joey Ryan goes up and outpoints Simeopoulos, who's kicked two of the last three goals for the Zavs. Couldn't affect that contest. Inboard they come for Grimley. Too far out to score, you'd think. 27 plays 2. Zavs in front. He's given it a mighty crack to the goal square. We've got a loose Sheridan there. Stewart's taken the grab.
Oh, that's amazing.
And he wastes no time. He bangs it on the boots. And at the 24.5-minute mark of the first quarter, the Blues have their first.
Well, very much needed too, but that was purely on size and strength of Stewart to be able to guard the space and take a relatively easy chest mark in the end, which was good. That probably just shows you the value of those deeper kicks into a dangerous spot, because the backmen, they think, oh, we're closer to goals, so it's perceived pressure there. But it's going to be hard for anyone to wrestle Stewart out of the way.
Much needed there from James Stewart. The Blues haven't played that badly yet. They were staring down a 25-point margin just a few minutes ago. Back to 19 and back to the middle. Grimley into the ruck against Duncan. And it's Oscar Duncan who wins the tap down and inclusion today. It's wrapped up. Big tackle by Curran. Sherwin's around the place. Leading disposal winner in the VAFA, of course. Excellent game last week, Darcy Sherwin. 31 disposals, 2 goals.
Goal of the day, too.
65-metre torpedo punt. Hugo Higginbotham going bunter in the commentary box. Back we are again. Phipps Parsons progresses the kick past centre-half forward. He is not. Oh, he pushed Ryan off it. He runs forward. He rolls the kick in the advantage of Delaney. He's had that ball slip through his fingers. Big Ed and over the boundary line will be thrown in. Right forward pocket for the Old Xaverians, Hugo. So
it'll be interesting to see now, because the Blues do really back their players around the ball and they don't send too many to the contest. I can still see 5-6 in the middle of the ground, whereas Zavs overloaded a little bit. So this is where Zavs have got their goals, from this pressure around the ball. So they don't want to give away another one here, the Blues.
Zavs are pressing for exactly that. Delaney put himself in the ruck. One the head out, went out the side, belted forward by Whitehead of the Blues, but only as far as Duncan, who sends the Zavs back inside 50 to a 2-on-1. Delaney doubling back in and out of his hands. Conway in the tackle there of Westcott, and he spins the full-back of the team of the year last year in the Premier Grade over the boundary line and into the picket fence just about. We'll have it thrown in right where we were 30 seconds ago.
That kick was actually meant for McIsaac there. Delaney came back into it and got in his way.
Oh, so. Come on, Ed.
Yes, no, you're wrong.
He's in the ruck now, grappling with Grimley. Did I get that out okay? They scrounge for it. Handball goes right up and down. Knocks it out the back. Hansen comes pirouetting through. Was it his prior opportunity? He spun out of one tackle into a second. The umpire says, I'll have to intervene. It's at the roof of the goal square for the Zavs. Going to the right of your dial through the SEN app. You might be listening and you're watching on the VAFA website as well, as O'Shea brings the Blues towards the outer wing. Hunting it bravely there was Campbell Lane. Handball out near his teammate in Dunn, but he missed him, and the Blues might be able to come forward here. There's a free kick on the outer side. Just backward of the true centre wing position. The Blues are in possession.
So Ryan it is, who moves it along that far wing, and again they're going to go corridor. Works out okay. Robinson in the centre of Toorak Park holds on.
He's in that slippery stuff there.
Yeah, and he's not going to kick it long. I think he fears falling over. Next one is Curran. So he's 75 metres out. Fairly crowded forward 50. Could go sideways to LaCava here, Curran. He's frustrated. He's just going to kick it long and high and hope that Townsend can fly. Fennelly with him. Muhammad there as well for the Zavs. Connor Dunn takes the ball cleanly for the red and black. And on the left, careful to Hansen. Through left half back, and he'll switch. Hamish McIsaac has 20 metres either side of him. And he takes the mark now, plays on and moves it forward. And this is the danger of the Zavs. Bilston McGillen.
He's got him on in the middle there. No, he's burnt that now.
And he stopped and propped, and now he's going to have to resort to the long down the line kick, where Delaney's got 2 Blues to fend with. And Grimley came up and destroyed it over the boundary line, over the fence, and out between the benches. Broadcast side, it will be thrown in. The Zavs 27 play the Blues 8 for Marsh in the first term, 28 minutes gone.
Yes, he had the opportunity to pull the trigger on the 45s in the middle of the ground and get that run carry going, but now we've got a stoppage on the wing.
Duncan parks himself in front of Grindlay, palms it down, Holmes is over the top of it, he's ridden into the ground, he shovels it out the front. Whitehead is there for the Blues, he's under immediate pressure, not sure he got rid of it legally, we're right near the boundary line. Duncan goes over the top, they all double back for the Sherrin. Both sets of players had claim for a free kick in there. Oh, Goss is laying on his back, he's sore, and they all jump in over the top of him, and the ball has gone out of bounds.
So a lot of congestion around the ball at the moment, and I'm a bit distracted because I've got my finger on the siren button and I'm waiting for instruction from the timekeepers. So it's I'll get double invoice for this day.
Zabs 4-3-27, the Blues 1-2-8. Tossed in broadcast wing, another battle for the Sherrin. Charlie Furphy over the top of it. The Koch missed it. Hanson doing the dirty work in there, trying to extract it. Then he went in a later tackle. Oh, it's hard yakkery there. Ball it up, Paddy.
That's 16 players around the ball at the moment. You're not going to get that out of there very easily.
You say you're no good at counting, but 16's a pretty high number. Hugo, if you hit IQ.
There is.
Duncan and Grindlay. Curran sockers it forward. Robinson handball to Whitehead and now to Furphy. That's Billy. Inside 50 he goes. Touched off the boot. Townsend and Connor Dunn. Townsend tries to paddle to his own advantage. Does so successfully. And snaps truly. What a goal from Ben Townsend. He missed an opportunity from the boundary a little bit earlier on in this first term. He succeeds on the right peg. Snaps around the body. The Blues have their second goal of the afternoon. 14 plays 27 for Marsh in the first term. 29 minutes and 45 seconds gone.
You will not see a better goal than that all day.
And I reckon that's the first time that the Blues have been able to get a ground ball inside forward 50.
Yeah, that forward defensive pressure where they didn't lose the ball, and luckily, I don't know how that bounced up in his hands there, but it just did, and he had his player wrong-sided and finished beautifully, and that's key for them.
The Blues get their second. Dan Donati, the Zabs coach, tears his hair out in the coaching box. Goal in red time, there might be more to come. Lord kicks him inside 50, Townsend in front. He's already taken a great mark, couldn't hold on that time. Slipping clear there, Trigger, backwards to Lane, and then off to Connor Dunn, who floats the kick towards the outer side, not in front. Good spoil over the back there from Ryan. Churgwin in amongst it, but he couldn't get the football. Here's Hanson, he lost it in the tackle. And there's a free kick. The Zabs will take the advantage here. There's not really anything happening up ahead. So from 45 metres out, Campbell Lane just tosses it up to the goal square. It bounces the wrong side of the stick. That really was his only option. Another behind for the red and black. 4-4. They lead the Blues 2-2, getting on in the late stages here of the first quarter for Marsh.
Well, it's just evident of how well they can move the ball from end to end of the ground, Zabs, quickly, and that's got to be the format for them. They don't want those high entries, and unlucky for Campbell Lane not to kick that one.
Blues up beyond halfway. Billy Furphy had it slip through his fingers. He was waiting underneath the high ball. Hart comes through. Clean was Lord. Feeds it backwards. They hack it inside 50 again, the Blues. Townsend in pursuit. Wants the boundary and gets it. Connor Dunn happy to usher it over the boundary line there. It'll be thrown in 45 metres out from goal. We've gone 31 minutes and 15 seconds in the first term. High scoring. 28 plays 14. It's the Old Xavs with the first 4 of the game. Simiopoulos with 2 of those. The Blues the last 2. It's with the agency of Stewart and then Townsend. Ball's thrown back in and that will be quarter time. So a 14-point Old Xaverians lead at the first change. Quarter that went 31 and a half minutes for Marsh here at Toorak Park, which is bathed in sunshine. It's the Zabs 4-4-28 leading the Blues 2-2-14. 2 goals for Dennis Simiopoulos, singles for Charlie McIsaac and Woodhouse, and for the Blues, James Stewart and Ben Townsend, the single goal kickers. On the other side of this, we'll go inside the University Blues huddle thanks to Wagstaff, and we'll get some scores from around VAFA's top flight. More after this.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Tickets are now on sale for one of the signature events on the VAFA calendar, the 2025 William Buck VAFA Finals Luncheon, held on Friday, September 5 at Zinc Fed Square. Join us as we celebrate the road to the VAFA and AFL Finals with 5-time Premiership player Dermot Brereton and 2-time Brownlow medalist Greg Diesel Williams. Secure your tickets today at vafa.com.au.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com. Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the fields. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Quarter time at Toorak Park. The Old Xaverians 4-4-28 leading the University Blues 2-2-14. It was the Zavs with the first 4 goals of the game and a 25-point lead into time on before James Stewart and Ben Townsend got the Blues back into the contest. They trail by 14 points and will go inside the University Blues huddle in just a moment's time. Raj Johnston is our man on the spot there. But before we get inside the huddle, let's go around the grounds thanks to Marshall White. Old Brighton by 16 points over Collegians as things stand at Brighton Beach Oval. St Bernard's by 17 points over Old Haileybury. St Kevin's by 32 points already at the TH King over De La Salle. Old Scotch by 20 points over the University Blacks at the Melbourne University Oval as the Blues just huddle around their first-year senior coach, Matt Smith, who has won his last 3 games in charge of the Blues and has developed as a coach by his own admission over the course of 2025. It hasn't exactly been smooth sailing for the Blues, but with the win today, they will be out certainly of the relegation discussion and potentially into the finals discussion as well. Paddy Grindlay, Brent Sternberg, Hugo Higginbotham and Raj Johnston on the call for you today on the SEN app, SEN website and on vafa.com.au. Let's now go inside the University Blues huddle and hear from their coach, Matt Smith.
A really positive start, really good start, I think, from the group. All we've got to do is just clean up a couple of little things, but we still owned a bit of territory through that quarter and we still were able to take their game away from them. But as I said, it's just little moments that we've got to clean up. Midfielders, just stick to your assignment for longer. Yeah, don't get stuck ball watching because they will cheat forward of the ball and they're really, when they get that forward handball chain going, it's really hard to stop. We've got the forwards rolling up really well and taking that back and around, so have confidence that we can just stick to that assignment. If you're not the hit to, make sure that you stop your man getting anywhere near it for the entirety of that contest, early and late. Forwards, we just cannot get outmarked in there. And as I said, then it's not just on you with the use going inside, but you can see how well they use the ball if we kick it to their numbers in there and then let them fan and spread out. So we've got to be better at kicking it to advantage and kicking it to space if we need to. Those last couple of goals came with chaos inside. Yep. It doesn't allow them to get set ahead behind the ball for us, but it allows us to then get set behind the ball if there's chaos and we can get pressure on it, yeah? So it doesn't have to be perfect moving the ball, as long as we're not giving them marks inside our forward 50. Yeah, take that away from them. Backs, we can still possess the ball a little bit more at times though. We know that they're pushing numbers back, so let's take what they give us again, especially early in this quarter. Take what they give us, and then that run from behind. We can't keep doing the same thing expecting different results, yeah? So let's lower the eyes, force them to come up and defend. As I said, we did a lot right.
Great to hear from the University Blues coach Matt Smith and his insights for Wagstaff inside the quarter-time huddle. Hugo Higginbotham, before we hear from Matt and Raj, your thoughts?
He's very invested in this, isn't he? He's very fired up for this contest. But I noticed he singled out the mids with stay in your assignment, don't ball watch. So he's very conscious of their midfield. Obviously one of the best midfields in the comp. So that's one thing he's looking to shut that down.
Let's head down to Raj Johnston, who has the coach of the University Blues.
Thank you, Paddy. Matt, what were your thoughts on the first quarter?
Pretty positive. Like, it's a tight battle inside. They're clearly a good side and they use the ball really well when we give them that time and space. We just got to stop kicking it to their numbers and give our forwards a chance in time and space and a bit of chaos.
Seems like both teams, defensive 50, the intercept marking's going pretty well.
Yeah, certainly, and you can see they just set up for it so well, and then they really damage on that return. So we just got to take that away from them.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Raj. Our huddle report is for Wagstaff, Australian-owned and operated family business that has supplied quality meats both here and abroad since 1908. Wagstaff.com.au. Brent Sternberg, you had your eyes set on Tex Wanganeen, who hurt his right shoulder in that first quarter.
1, 2, 3, 4. I saw him having a chat to somebody that he knows here, and he was giving a bit of a signal that I reckon he might be done with the right shoulder that he was pointing to. So he's got the left one taped, but it's the right one that he's had a problem with. So they might be down a player early on again, the Zavs.
Yeah, it looked that way. It was almost hanging, so mine was maybe a dislocation or something like that.
Just noticed Gillan McLaughlin walking along the boundary and just taking his sweet time and getting off the field.
Get off the ground, Gil.
When you're a former AFL CEO, I suppose, in these parts, you can do what you like.
No, but he's not in office. He can't just do what he wants now.
He's running the tower.
I think people are trying to tell him that as well. He's a Zavs man, I think, isn't he?
Blues.
Blues.
Oh, Blues, right. Yeah. Is it
Andrew Dillon
is the Zavs? Right. I get him mixed up. Dylan, you know how it is.
Our second term ahead. It's all for Bowens, the builder's choice, bowens.com.au.
Zavs in front at quarter time for the 10th consecutive week. They know how to start. Second quarters have been a bit of a problem for them. They're coming forward, though. Hansen kept his head over the Sharon, sweeps the handball inside the attacking zone. Got blown up in the tackle. Ryan gets involved in the back 50 for the Blues. He had a good first quarter through Conway, and then LaCarver, who turns and kicks back up towards the arc. They've got to go. Look out. What a mark. Hamish McIsaac, fearless.
Oh, he's put the finger up. He's having a go here too. Very brave. That was a great mark.
Yeah.
There. He just only had eyes for the ball.
Mark of the day for Gorman Commercial. And now he mulls over a set shot that he will kick from just outside the arc. He probably is kicking from about 45 metres out. He's just away to the left.
Raj didn't get back to us about that, did he?
No.
Might have to touch base.
Yeah.
3 goals, 1 this season. Premiership player in the reserves last season. Bang! What a kick, and what a mark, and what a play all round from Hamish McIsaac. So both brothers are on the scoreboard, and that is a worrying start for the University Blues, Hugo.
Yeah, that was. Well, what was more concerning was that exit kick from the Blues. They had nothing up the ground, and that was the kick to hope.
LaCarver, I think it was.
Yeah, well, he was a long way off that too. But no, that was a very brave mark, and good to see him get in the game too, because his brother gets all the highlights. Now, what a talented family.
Wanganeen down below us for the Zavs, just doing a few handball drills with one of the trainers. He's in pain. That much we know. I'm not sure we're going to see Tex again.
Yeah, just feeling for that right shoulder. Doesn't look to be in a great way at the moment, Tex Wanganeen. Such a shame. He's such an exciting footballer. He doesn't need a lot of the footy to make his impact, especially at VAFA level. Of course, a fair bit of Port Melbourne appearances this year. Got the transfer to Sandy after the date, so couldn't play any more VFL footy, so just playing his trade in the Ammos. And we know that St Kilda is interested in him. Meanwhile, back at the footy, successive stoppages in that muddy centre wicket area. We will touch base with Raj Johnston in just a minute's time to hear about the impact that might be having on this game of footy, and more from his boundary side position as O'Sullivan comes through for the Blues, feeds it into the middle of the ground, and Goddard, who kicks it up and under to centre half forward. Big pack of players. Fennelly got a leap. The spoil went straight down to Furphy, though. That's Charlie. He goes up and down the chimney looking for a Koch. Churgwin ducks through a tackle, feeds it just straight up in the air. One of the outside, it just went up 3 metres and sideways 1, and O'Brien will wrestle his way into a stoppage. It'll be thrown up 55 metres out from the Blues' goal.
Yeah, both sides trying to exit from the front of every stoppage. They feel like they can put a lateral movement on it and probably get away from congestion. Otherwise, we're going to see a lot of repeat stoppages today.
Second quarter for Bowens. The Blues threaten to win a clearance. Charlie Furphy's kick smothered, so back into dispute it goes. Phipps Parsons is ripped down in the tackle of Churgwin. And we're still in the centre square here at Toorak Park, and we go down on the boundary line for Raj Johnston. What have you got down there, Raj?
Hugo, I did do your homework at quarter time. I measured out the forward arc. I got 40 steps.
40?
Oh, there we go.
You are a very tall man, Raj.
Meticulous.
Long strides.
Yes. All right, so it's a 40. Well, there we go. 40-metre arc, which makes sense because there's quite a gap between the arc and the square.
Still in the middle here. Kicked forward quickly by the Blues, but there's Jumpin' Jed Fennelly again. Impassable in this first half. Sends his kick to the outer side. It's a beauty. Not spilt the mark. It deserved a mark. The kick was a ripper. O'Shea and Ryan and Goddard out on the far wing for the Blues. They give up a little bit of ground with the handball. Whitehead's kicking board. Grimley takes the mark. 5-4 plays 2-2. Zavs well and truly on top at home here at Toorak Park as we approach the 4-minute mark of the second quarter.
So Grimley down that far wing just dumps it long. The fly came across the front of the contest from Tommy Dunn. He couldn't bring down the mark, and Stacks on the mill out of side. It'll be thrown in the air. So Not quite as free-flowing, Hugo, for hit IQ as it was in the first term at the very start of the quarter.
No, neither side looking to take that lateral movement away from congestion. So we look to see one side take it on and try and get away from it, get a bit of flowing football.
We had our fun in the opening minutes, and now they'll wrestle. Goss pushed Churgwin off the foot. He gave it to Connardun, and he's got O'Shea and Whitehead as well. Pardon me, Tom O'Brien all over him. So another stoppage out of side. 34 plays 14, incidentally. 4 minutes down in this second term. The league got out to 25 points in the first quarter before the Blues pegged back the Zavs. But it's the X-Men coming forward at a rate of knots. Taylor the fist on knot across half forward. For the Zavs, maybe a hold. The umpire called him to play. Taylor's kick off the ground. Only found McIsaac. And here come the Zavs through the breach. The handball to Woodhouse. He'll run into the open goal. And like they did in the first term, the old Zavs get the jump in the first two of the quarter. First McIsaac at the end of the first minute of this second term. That's for Bowens. And now Woodhouse with the Zavs 6-4, 40 plays 2-2, 14. A game-high 26-point lead to the Old Xaverians. 5 minutes down for Bowens in the second.
So we're going to see a lot of this today if the Zavs keep playing like this. That overlap run, quick chain of handball, speed of ball moving forward. And the Blues don't really have an answer for that. The Zavs are actually very good at winning the ground ball as well. You notice that they're probably on top. That's probably what they're really in front on today, just those ground ball gets and not losing them as well.
Well, coming into round 17, they are second for ground balls on average. The Blues, the Zavs are actually down there in ninth.
Yeah, you can see that.
They're turning it on today. They get a free kick out of the middle. The red and black, they'll be coming forward. Duncan pops it up on the boot. Delaney at full stretch in and out of his hands. Charlie McIsaac goes after the crumb. It's out near the boundary line. Trying to step his way through. It's not. Oh, he thought his way through it, and then just as he was about to get the handball away, he dropped it. And so a bit of a pressure valve release here for the Blues as McCulloch will take his free kick at left half back. And it's not a very good kick at that. It was a beautiful kick. It went to Grimley. O'Shea's handball way too hot for O'Brien. The Zavs pull it clear. Bills to McGillen. Flops it on the boots. So it goes nowhere near Charlie McIsaac, who had peeled away from Conway. And he's chastising his teammate out there on the flank as it goes out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
You could see that straight away. As soon as the ball went to the other side, McIsaac just dropped his hands and was furious there. But anyway... Geez, it's all the Zavs at the moment. The Blues are in a bit of all sorts here. They need to compose and try and win some contested ball.
So Lloyd's got the match up with Charlie McIsaac. He's around the footy. Woodhouse at his bootlaces. Want him not to flash through your picture. He didn't turn up, and the Blues... Oh, that's a kick that's gone maybe 8 metres into the hands of O'Brien.
Went 2 metres, that one.
He won't mind. So he holds on. Left half back. He was surprised that it was paid, but he might have given this ball back. A Koch made a good contest. Came over the top, won the ball at his bootlaces. Ground level, a Koch will fight for it. He slapped the ball loose of the hands of Dunn. That's Tom. Scrappy footy here between wing and half forward for the Zavs, and that's the way they've liked it in this term, although Billy Furphy got his way through. Got loose of one tackle high in the air. Stewart's there, Townsend's there, neither get near the footy. Connardun takes it, kicks it out wide. It's tracked down by Campbell Lane, and he'll feed it back. Fennelly, and long down the wing he goes.
A couple of the Zavs old-time VFL stages combined, but Fennelly mucked up the kick. It's the first mistake he's made today. It went out of bounds on the full on the far side. And the Blues, they got plenty of the ball, didn't they, in that first quarter, Hugo? The opposite has been true in the second quarter. It's all Zavs. As Ryan tries to fake the player on the mark, drives the Blues back up to half forward. Out in front and taking the mark is his leading teammate there. McCulloch kicks him towards the full forward position. And cutting across the line of the football and taking a brave mark is Jack O'Sullivan. And we are at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, and this is a big old kick for the University Blues.
Yeah, that was a very good mark, but I think that was good communication. I think that was it Townsend? Yeah, Townsend was the one coming the other way, so they had that communication. Otherwise, you could have absolutely killed him with that. But Brent, what were you talking about before, being all the Blues at the moment, all the Zavs at the moment, as he has his shot on goal. We can see it on footage here.
Right in front, 30 metres out, O'Sullivan flirts with the goalpost a little bit. It finds a way home, and it's a goal that comes for the Uni Blues right up against the red and black tidal wave at Toorak Park.
And he's now, yeah, just what I was saying there. The Blues have gone away from that shorter possession game they had in the start of the game, and they're trying to simply play a kick-mark game longer down the line, which is not a good format with such a good side like the Zavs, because you can get picked off. But that was good build-up and a great goal there, a much-needed one in the context.
O'Sullivan's third goal of the season, a first-season player at the Blues. He's come through Koroit and Wodonga. I think you told his story last week, Pat. He's also played in a premiership up in the top end for Waratah a couple of years ago. Big goal for the Blues.
So Churgwin in the middle of the ground gets him going again to centre half forward. Mohammed back with the flight. Didn't know it was coming. and went back and held it to his chest, and then sideways. Hamish McIsaac, we've already seen his long boot. He won't employ it on this occasion. Fennelly to Duncan up the line. So he's true centre wing, broadcast side. The Zavs by 20 points. Along the wing he goes to Hansen, and he's got Conradine running beside him. Hansen decides to ignore him. He goes forward to Woodhouse. He's got Taylor all over him. Good tackle. Mitch gets him down, 45 metres out from the Zavs goal.
Geez, Duncan's impressive. He's handling himself in the ruck to get possession around the ground. You want that. Bit of a mobile ruckman.
Hayden Woodhouse and Mitch Taylor introducing themselves, perhaps for the first time. Not exactly a great friendship there blossoming as Grimley unopposed down in the O'Sullivan direction, who held on to his Zavs opponent Simeopoulos in the tackle. And Dennis, who's got 2 goals, is the free kick. He'll kick from 55 metres if he wants to have a punt at the big sticks. I think Dennis is shaping up like he wants to have a crack here, Hugo.
He certainly is. Now, we've established that's a 40, so I reckon he's kicking from 45, Paddy. You're giving an extra 10. But definitely a kickable goal. Remember, the breeze is favouring this end. So
Dennis Simeopoulos, he's at left half forward. As Hugo says, he'll probably kick from 46 metres out. And he's got 2 already. Haven't kicked multiple goals before this game all year. He's still got multiple goals. He doesn't have 3, though. He misses to the left-hand side and extends, though, the Old Xaverians' advantage to 21 points at the 10-minute mark of the second term. That's for Bowens.
Had the distance, but not the accuracy. Anyway, that was a good bit of play there by the Zavs again.
LaCava with the kick-in duties for the Blues towards the outer side. Can't connect with the mark. A tackle is applied, and it's out of bounds on the far side. Out at right half forward there for the Zavs. He's had a couple of quiet weeks, Simeopoulos. 13 touches last week in that close win over the Collegians. The week before he had a season-low 6 touches. He's having a profound impact in the first half here. LaCava gets another disposal. There'll be a free kick at half forward. Stewart was held on to. And he will turn and have a look on the front edge of the square. The players flood forward ahead of him. He just tosses it up towards the pocket. Reaching in there was Billy Murphy. Can't hold on. McCulloch in the left forward pocket. Dribbles it at the goal mouth. And went the wrong side of the stick and in for a behind. The Blues are 3-3 and the Zavs are 6-5. And we've gone 11 and a half minutes in this second quarter. That's for Bowens. The Builder's Choice, bowens.com.au. Bowens, B-O-W-E-N-S.
So here go the Zavs, one from the last line, 20 points to lead. Taylor, we got a big flight. He was up amongst the clouds, and then he did the double fist over the white line. That's got to be a fine during the week for Mitch Taylor.
I reckon Matty Smith has said, all right, we've got no Costa, so everybody else try and take mark of the year today.
Well, the day lends itself for it. Maybe he's their inspiration.
I heard a story about Trent Costa that he wears the long sleeves, and it's actually his under-16s rep jumper that is a long sleeves underneath his uni blues. Little singlet operation. More on that in a moment. As the Blues win the clearance and kick it towards the points of the centre square. There's another flight. You're right, Brent. It's building. Jack Whitehead that time. He couldn't bring the ball down through the traffic to go the Blues. Churgwin's handball was underground. Fennelly was maybe held on to. The umpire calls them to play, and it's all cloak and dagger, in tight stuff, and the Zavs win the day as they have for much of this game. It's a long kick in the Woodhouse direction. Taylor came floating past, got the fist to Curran's advantage. He feeds it back. Joey Ryan to Grimley. Nice kick. Far side wing, Sam Grimley marks, and he'll just chip it a little bit further up the line, not without risk. Churgwin, second attempt, holds on 48 metres out.
Now, this is a kickable distance. Have a go, Darcy.
We're not going to get the Darcy barrel. He swings his kick out to the pocket. Oh, brave there was done. Couldn't take the football. Stewart goes round the body and kicks a terrific goal. And they've got a couple in a row, the Blues. And Stewart's got his second.
Did well, Stewart, there. He got a bit of separation, and he's actually very mobile for a big man. So that was, if you give him time and space like that, and such an excellent execution on goal.
Yeah.
So he's a dangerous player. So Hardy's doing a good job down there, but it's a job that's going to have to be from pillar to post, because he's got the ability to kick a couple very quickly.
You get the sense they really have stabilised now, the Blues, and finally starting to get some reward on the scoreboard when they get it down there.
Yeah, they seem to be sort of stifling the Zavs a little bit, not letting them get that overlap run and that lateral movement. So that's probably hence the congestion footy we're seeing.
2 goals apiece in this second term.
Yep, Grimley as Tex Wanganeen runs back onto the field, so that's a good sign for the Zavs fans and footy fans everywhere. Phipps Parsons with the clearance. Ryan maybe held by the arm. Again, the umpire calls them to play. He's battling over it with Brusnahan. Is Joey Ryan. He's got his arms splayed wide, appealing for the free kick, and finally he gets it. In game number 6 this year in senior football for Joey Ryan, formerly out of South Mildura. The bright pink boots today. At left half back, he's going to dump it down the scoreboard wing. Big pack of players. Mohammed is there. The reach came, looked like it was Billy Furphy. He couldn't bring it down. The Zavs go back inside 50. Conway pushed off by McIsaac, and Charlie takes it on his chest.
Yeah, the Blues player trying to hold him up there. And the guy just waves him away. Said, I've got the ball. Get away from me.
Well, Conway is the much bigger player. The number one's going head-to-head, but McIsaac with superior craft just shoved off Nick Conway like he weighed nothing, took the grab on his chest, and now has a chance to kick his second of the day directly in front, just about from 35 metres out, and to re-establish a 20-point lead. It's become difficult for the Blues to ratchet this margin in 2 single digits. Charlie McIsaac will help them, though, with kicking like that. He misses wildly to the right-hand side. Not the finishing we expect from Charlie. 6-6-42 for Bowens, the Old Xaverians. 4-3-27 the Blues. 15 minutes gone in the second term as Mitch Taylor hits the deck. Again, battling with Charlie McIsaac, so those two not getting along well. Brent Sternberg.
Blues with the kick into the near side, but it's easily intercepted by Hart, who marks a couple of kicks from goal, puts it right back into the hot spot. McIsaac is there! I'll have that, and he turns around to Nick Conway and says, bugger off. He'll be very keen to make amends, because that kick 30 seconds ago was a shocker, really.
Do you reckon he said that? Or he might have said something else there. Please get away from me.
If I mimicked exactly what he said, this would be my one game on the SEN match of the day.
We were doing so well.
Yeah, well, there's no love lost between those two players out there. That's going to be a great battle to watch today.
15.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Zavs by 15 points. McIsaac doesn't make the same mistake twice. He steers it through. He's got his second. And the X-Men steady the ship at Toorak Park.
So a very important goal for Zavs then, because obviously with Blues getting on the back of a couple, so that's a steadying goal. Keep that nice little buffer, that margin, which is very important. But it's very, very good down there, McIsaac, because he's giving away quite a few kilos to Conway there, but he's such a smart player and can use his body so well. The one before where he took the chest mark, he actually bumps Conway just as he was jumping. So it was a perfect execution there. So luckily he kicked that one. They needed it.
So 3 multiple goal kickers today for the Zavs. Charlie McIsaac, Simiopolis and Woodhouse. Hamish with the one. Back we go into the middle. O'Brien lays the tackle for the Blues. He nests the footy. It will be thrown up just on the edge of the cricket wicket, which is hopefully firming up for the players. It's pretty slippery early going in that first term. Woodhouse into the right. Mohammed with the tackle. We'll do it all again, I suspect. No, the umpire says holding the footy. Well, there you go. Makuch Mohammed rewarded for his tackle. The sideways kick is very dangerous indeed. Connor Dunn got a hand in. Ben Townsend picks it up. He's worried off the football by Connor Dunn, who did so well, and feeds Bilston McGillen on the outside. And here come the Old Zavs. The kick over to the side is a shocker. Grimley cuts it down for the Blues, and now they might be out the other way of the Uni Blues because there's men inside 50. Not a great 2 minutes. Grimley kicks it straight into Mohammed on the mark. A Koch now with the footy. He just hacks it towards centre-half forward, 55 metres out. The big spoil coming across from Tom Dunn to Goddard instead. Whitehead, that looked like a throw. McCulloch takes the footy. On the left, he has a shot at goal. It'll just fall short, which is good news.
You can see Stewart coming there.
James Stewart reached over the top, pulled it down, and from 2 metres out directly in front, you can put down your glasses here for James Stewart. He's going to kick his third after 3 last week against the University Blacks. Goal number 49 on the season for James Stewart. He's got the half-ton in his sights. And the Uni Blues respond. Back to 15 points we go.
So it was a great play by the Blues there. Just that pressure of the Zavs was really good, but they managed to get it full. But you could just see Stewart building there, and Hart, there's nothing he could do there. He just had to wait for him to come over the top, and just the strength of the man. So it's a great game we've got here at the moment. It's going end-to-end goals. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, we've got both teams scoring now, don't we? Yes. So a very, very open, fun game of football. Zavs lead by 15 points, 48 plays 33. In the middle again we are. Grimley, Duncan ended up flat on his butt. It comes out the front. Phipps Parsons foraging for it, then fell over, flat on his face. Or the umpire show any pity? He does. Ball up just forward of centre. Zavs, by the way, for those listening through the SEN app, they're wearing black armbands today for a former president and VAFA president, in fact, David Burns. So they're playing with heavy hearts today, the red and black, but playing well. Heading towards time on in the second quarter. It pinballs around. Holmes couldn't take it. O'Brien did for the Blues, gets the kick towards the outer side. Getting a rotten bounce out there was Billy Furphy. Holmes tackles the Blues player without the football. Umpire waving furiously, play on. Oh, Goddard, he had to be brave. Gee, he took the football. He copped a huge bump from Westcott. then got jumped on by a second. That was really inspiring stuff there from Jeremy Goddard, who had a similar moment last week as well in the Derby, didn't he?
Well, that he did. He's usually the man they turn to for the difficult jobs at the University Oval. As Campbell Lane takes the ball on the outside, he was bumped as he kicked, maybe afterwards, says the umpire. Looked like Billy Furphy, who was a little bit agricultural. So it's a downfield free kick going the way of the Zavs. And the shot will come from about 46 metres out. Really tricky angle for Charlie Knott. Though he has shown an ability for the miraculous this year. He's beneath the scoreboard. This would put the lead back to 21 points. We've had some goal-for-goal footy. The Blues, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, just unable to get back within touching distance. McIsaac and Conway are going for each other. McIsaac and Lloyd now.
That's good stuff.
That'll be a good conversation in the rooms post-game with Knott now. He crosses the arc of 45. The kick won't score. It falls short. Here comes Delaney. It carried him. O'Sullivan, that's Jack Campbell, directly across the behind line. No dramas, says the man in green. The lead grows now to 16 points for the Old Zavs. 7-7 plays 5-3. We've just entered time on for Bowens in this second term. Brent?
3 goals apiece. It's a traceable bit of a kick up to centre-half back from the Blues. It went through the hands of Goss. Dunn swings the handball to Holmes. He's got options in board. Woodhouse had to get rid of it quickly. Phipps Parson slips out of a tackle, snaps on goal, and didn't get the opportunity to straighten up. It's another behind for the Red and Black. 7-9-51. They lead the Blues 5-3-33. Time on in this second quarter for Bowens. Brent Sternberg, Hugo Higginbotham, and Paddy. Is that your name? Paddy Grindlay?
I think might be.
Yeah,
supposedly.
Paddy
I've
Grindlay.
been told that. Hugo, for you like you?
Geez, I've just noticed the physicality in this game has really stepped up in the last 5 minutes.
Going to get a bit in this box as well in a minute.
Yes.
I better step out.
Sherwin, right back pocket. It's a long broadcast. At least our man Buttons is enjoying it. Short over the top he goes to Charlie Furphy. Look at Charlie Furphy. Woman boy, 24-year-old. Senior game number 10. He's a left footer. He's going to go across the face. His own goal mouth. Hugo likes it. Conway takes the mark and skips the ball. Oh, over the top. Well over the top. Over the top of some heads. And out of bounds on the full. Zavs take the footy quickly. Here's Tex Wanganeen. Right shoulder is sore. We know that. He's 55 metres out. Skims it towards Woodhouse. Back again. McIsaac! Oh, over the top. Couldn't hold on to the footy. Woodhouse takes the ball. The umpires paid the grab, I think, to Charlie McIsaac.
Is it McIsaac?
No, Woodhouse.
Well, Woodhouse in front. They might raffle it. Charlie wants mark of the year. He's not going to get it. Woodhouse will go back and kick for his third goal directly in front, 12 metres out.
Still a bit going on down there. It's very vocal and very physical down there. But that was a good mark. He got front spot and excellent. They need this one, the Zavs. Just keep that a bit more of a buffer on.
Yeah, goal-for-goal stuff in this second term, as we've mentioned. This will be the Zavs' fourth. The Blues have kicked 3. Woodhouse's third for the afternoon. He's directly in front, 12 metres out. It's such a good game, as Brent mentioned last week, against Collegians. He's got 3 before half-time at Toorak Park. And the Zavs skip out to a 23-point advantage. Dying stages of this second term for Bowens, as let's head down to Raj Johnston, who's on the boundary. Raj?
Hey, Paddy, you're wondering about the centre square and the mud. Well, I'm looking at Sam Hansen from the Zavs, and he has got plenty of mud running down both his left and right leg. I might go take a look myself at half-time and see how the mud's going out in the middle.
Can you step it out for us and find exactly the width and length of that mud patch, Raj?
Anything for you, Paddy.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Hey, Raj, is that wind picked up out there? Because I'm looking at the trees. It seems to be really favouring that left end. Has it gotten stronger?
Yeah, marginally, not much.
Okay.
You're right, the trees have picked up, but not much, not by much.
Thanks, Raj. Johnston down there on the boundary. Good stuff, Raj, under glorious blue skies here at Toorak Park. 8-8-56, the home side. The Blues 5-3-33. 23 minutes played in the second quarter. Duncan's in the ruck and a Koch for the Blues. Duncan won it down. Charlie Furphy tries to come through with ball in hand. Handball out the side for Goddard. O'Shea gets involved. Threw it awkwardly on the left boot out towards the wing. Ryan races onto it, but he ran into some trouble and some willing Zavs tacklers. And a ball up we will need on the outer side. Woodhouse, 3 goals today. One of 5 players to play in every game for the Zavs this season. Zavs work it forward from the scrimmage. O'Shea knocked it straight to Knott so that he could then tie him up and throw him over the boundary line. It was all part of the plan. And they earned themselves about 40 metres there, the red and black. There'll be a ball in about 55 around at right half forward, going to the left of your dial on the SEN app.
So important stage of the game here. We're 23 minutes gone. Next goal is crucial for both teams. Uni Blues to stay in touch and Zavs just to try and get a bit more of that lead going into half-time.
We know that first quarter went 31.5 as a free kick's picked out. Going to the Blues, advantage won't be allowed as Churgwin went pushing real wide for O'Sullivan. And I think for a moment didn't quite hear the whistle and was still playing. He'll come all the way back to a Koch though at left half back, and he does have a switch available to him. He can go to O'Shea, who's to his left-hand side beneath the scoreboard, and does so. So Cam O'Shea, the man who's made the mad dash from the Port Adelaide rooms last night where he celebrated Travis Boak and Ken Hinckley's final game. That kick, well, might have had a bit of grass in it as a Koch leaned down to pick it up. He's paid the mark. He's still within their own defensive 45-metre arc as he goes back to Lloyd. Top of the defensive goal square. And they're tucked in good and proper now, the Blues. The Zavs defence has just trapped them. Lloyd has to go long down the line. O'Sullivan's in the pack. Big leap from behind from O'Sullivan. Couldn't win the ball down. Lord was waiting from the outside. Tregar takes the footy. O'Sullivan takes him in a ball and all tackle. Brings him down in front of the Zavs bench, and the umpire will call for the footy.
So he did well to wrap him up there because they had players around everywhere, the Zavs. So it's an interesting part here for the boys, whether they can get out of this corner.
23-point leaders, the Zavs. The ball comes out the front of the stoppage. Hart took it with the one hand. Westcott rather. Did he release it legally? Umpire said he didn't. Oh, the umpire let them take the advantage. It took a long time to develop. Billy Furphy, a Koch, ran into a roadblock. Furphy then had to get the handball, but coming through, reading it brilliantly was Hamish McIsaac. Might give it straight back. Woodhouse, brave, brought it to ground. Slips the handball to Hamish McIsaac, who goes whack from 35 metres out and kicks a goal. And the Blues just brought themselves undone in the middle of the ground. A great play there from Woodhouse going back bravely. It looked like the Blues were going to win it back, but Woodhouse brought it to ground. And then Hamish McIsaac on the runway did the rest.
Yeah, it's just feeling like the Blues are working themselves into trouble a little bit at the moment. They backed themselves in the corner. They nearly got out, but they overused in the middle of the ground. And you can't do that against the Zavs because they're a smaller side physically than the Blues, but they've got that pressure around the ball. And then when they get on that fast movement with that overlap hands, it's very, very dynamic. Hard to stop.
So for the second time this season, in his first senior season, Hamish McIsaac has a couple. He's been so impressive. Premiership player in the reserves last year. He kicked 3 goals on grand final day, and he's loving life as a senior footballer in 2025 as we'll have a repeat stoppage on that muddy centre wicket area. There's a little bit going on. Hamish McIsaac is a fan of his own work, perhaps after booting 2 goals in the first half. Incidentally, all the Zavs goal kickers, multiple goal kickers, Woodhouse with 3, Simiopoulos and Charlie and Hamish McIsaac with 2 apiece. As here is Hamish, and he's decked. One way to put that. Churgwin ensuring that he doesn't get up for a few moments. And the ball will be thrown in the air once more here on the edge of the centre square. 62 plays 33, 26.5 gone. Duncan down at his bootlaces for Bowens, and well, 3 stoppages in a row. Brent Sternberg, you have a crack.
Stuck in the middle of the ground. I'd like to go around the grounds in a moment because there's something very interesting happening out at Fortress Brighton as we've got repeat stoppages in the middle of the ground. The score here at Toorak Park is the Old Xaverians 9-8-62 and the Uni Blues 5-3-33. The umpire pulls a free kick out of the scrimmage going the way of the Zavs ruck, Oscar Duncan, who has been terrific in there today, coming back into the side. Premiership player in the under-19s a couple of years ago. It's not a great kick. It'll be flagged down on the boundary line there by Hanson, who's bowled over and out.
Now, for listeners on the SEN app and watchers on VAFA.com.au, you'll be wondering where the number 12 of Marty Gleeson has been today. I can report that he was a later out, and James Fulton in the number 17, a very, very late in for the University Blues.
Thank you for that, Paddy. We've got a throw in right underneath us at left half forward for the Zavs. LaCava goes to ground. O'Sullivan tries to bunt it out the front. O'Brien finds it, but he found a lot of willing Zavs tacklers. And Hanson, he suffered a similar fate. We're still on the broadcast wing. Heading towards half-time here at Toorak Park. Round 17, William Buck Premier Finals, not far away. Batted forward there by the Zavs. Dunn, that is, Connor Dunn is wrapped up in the tackle. We're still on the wing. Let's have another stoppage.
Geez, if I had known Gleeson was out, I would have changed my tip.
There we go.
That affects everything.
I did wonder, he seemed to be quiet,
Yeah, very quiet.
in the first quarter. He's at home having a cup of tea, watching on VAFA.com.au as Simiopoulos taps the ball to his own advantage along the boundary line, over the top to Charlie Knott, who squeezes the kick for Delaney, or Phipps Parsons. Back with the flight.
We've seen a lot of those marks today, haven't we, players going back against the grain?
And the lift doors were closing there on Sterling Phipps Parsons, who extended the mitts and hauled it in. He'll have a shot, 45-degree angle, 45 metres out, or probably 40 metres out with those reduced 45-metre arcs here at Toorak Park. Meticulously measured by our man Raj Johnston.
Yeah, I'll take Raj's word as gospel. But that surge footy of Zav's off the back of a turnover or a missed handball or something like that is excellent. And they raffle that mark there. Very good player, Fitzparsons.
Yeah, for goal number 15 on the season. And you'd reckon he would have Team of the Year aspirations had he played more VAFA footy this year. But he's been going that well. He's at VFL level with the Blues because he can do things like that. Splits the middle. And the Zavs, they have 10 goals in the first half. 68 plays, 33. We are out to a game-high 35-point Old Xaverians lead here at Toorak Park. And the X-Men just working their way into finals form. Brent Sternberg, as you nearly knocked yourself out on the desk here in the timekeeper's box.
Sorry about that, folks.
That was just that goal that I was talking about. That was very important at this stage of the game. And, you know, they've got a good lead now, the Zavs, which they can take into half-time, which I'm sure isn't too far away.
Fitzparsons' second season at the Zavs. He come over from South Australia, playing at the Colonel Light Gardens in the Adelaide Footy League, and played a bit of reserve footy at Sturt as well.
Just noticed Malakosh has gone into the ruck.
Yep.
They're going with a bit taller forward line with Stewart and Grindlay both down there.
Can he back his leap here against the taller Oscar Duncan? 35-point leaders, the Zavs. Duncan wins the hit out emphatically. Bounces away from Brosnahan, tracked by the Blues. Handball comes to O'Sullivan. It gets great territory. Oh, Muhammad dragged off it by Lord. Umpire said play on. Hart the first one there for the Zavs. Done at right half-back, bumped off the kick. It worked to treat Muhammad. His handball didn't get to Goss. It was taken by Townsend. Floats it back towards the goal mouth. Or Stewart had to be brave. He never really got a good run at it. Hart dragged down. Umpire says holding the ball at the teeth of goal for the Blues.
It was desperate stuff down there, and poor old Hart didn't have much of a chance.
No.
But and 52, yeah. Something's happened there. A bit of advice, I'd imagine.
I think the player there said exactly what you just said, Hugo, but maybe with a little bit colourful language. Goddard is the beneficiary of the free kick, and he pops through the goal from the goal square deep into time on in this second quarter.
Well, that's interesting getting that one back. So they're not going away, the Blues, are they? They're just hanging in there on the back of some good work there. I'm liking the work of Townsend. That was great entry kick there. And they're certainly not going away. We've got a game here, haven't we?
Well, it's important that they get that, the Blues, because they conceded 4 of the last 5 and the last 3 in sequence. And we know that with the 31.5-minute first quarter, we're not too far away from siren time here in the second. Duncan wins it down. Clean give to Bilston McGillen, who found lane on the outside. Maybe time for one more for the Zavs. No, it bounces away inside 45 and out. It'll be thrown in beneath the scoreboard.
Just on Townsend, would you be surprised to learn, Hugo, that he's the #1 player in Premier for contested marks?
That would surprise me because he's about 5'8".
Yeah.
But anyway.
Hello to Ben's family if you're listening.
Lovely family, lovely person.
Held back in. Duncan with the right mitt taps it to the advantage of Bilston McGillen, who has it tight roping the boundary, and the boundary umpire intervenes and says that's gone over the line. I'll have it again. We getting another throw in 45 metres out from the Zavs goal. 32 minutes gone for Bowens, and they lead it by 29 points, the X-Men.
It's been a 6-goal quarter for the Zavs, just quietly. The Blues have added on 4 of their own. Thrown in at half forward for the red and black. Hansen ducking in and out of the tackle and then dropping the footballer. Koch brings it away right on the half-time siren. And it's a very nice 29... Is that 29? 29-point lead, yep, at half-time for the Old Xaverians. Thanks for your support, Hugo. The Zavs 10-8-68, and the Blues are 6-3-39, and the Zavs 14-point quarter-time lead stretches to the best part of 5 goals at the main break.
The goal kickers for the Zavs: Woodhouse with 3, Simeopoulos with 2, Charlie McIsaac with 2, Hamish McIsaac with 2, Sterling Fitzparsons with 1 goal. James Stewart has 3 for the Blues, singles for O'Sullivan, Townsend and Goddard. A half-time show with injured Old Xaverian skipper Marcus Stavro is on the other side of this.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
The Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Star Award recognises the competition's most talented young players. Each week, the VAFA Rising Star Committee receives nominations for one male and one female player aged 20 years or under who played no more than 7 senior games before this season. Our overall season winners will be declared the Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Stars for 2025. So, if your club has a young gun making their mark, nominate them now at media@vafa.com.au.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Tickets are now on sale for one of the signature events on the VAFA calendar, the 2025 William Buck VAFA Finals Luncheon, held on Friday, September 5 at Zinc Fed Square. Join us as we celebrate the road to the VAFA and AFL finals with 5-time Premiership player Dermot Brereton and 2-time Brownlow medalist Greg Diesel Williams. Secure your tickets today at vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Half-time at Toorak Park. It's the Old Xaverians 10 goals, 8-68, leading the University Blues 6 goals, 3-39. They led it by 14 points at the first break, and they've extended that advantage with a 6-4 second term, the Old Zavs, and they have the whip hand here at Toorak Park in the blazing sunshine. As we mentioned before the break, Woodhouse with 3 goals, so Hayden Woodhouse has been the story in the first half here. Dennis Simiopoulos with 2, Charlie McIsaac with 2, Hamish McIsaac with 2, Sterling Fitzparsons the single goal kicker for the Blues. James Stewart has 3 goals. O'Sullivan, Townsend and Goddard all with singles. Let's go around the grounds. Thanks to Marshall White, selling prestige homes for more than 50 years. It is a significant weekend. Round 17 of the William Buck Premier Men's season. Finals hopes are on the line. Let's start at Brighton Beach Oval, Hugo Higginbotham, where the Tunners 5-4-34, lead Collegians 5-2-32. So we know that no one has breached Fortress Brighton in quite some time. The Lions have every chance to do it here in the second half.
They certainly are. Look, they've got a lot to play for, the Lions, and, you know, Brighton are going to finish in the top 2, so whether they're looking for the finals, but that's massive there. And the form in the last few weeks for Collegians has been very good, so this is interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, Paddy.
We'll whiz through the rest because we've got a very special guest who's just joined us in the commentary box. St Bernard's 58, leading Old Haileybury 33. That's a significant result. 25-point leaders, the Snow Dogs. St Kevin's 56, leading D-Lar 26 by 5 goals at the TH King, and Old Scotch beating up on the University Blacks. 65 plays 14. It is a 51-point Cardinals lead, and the reigning premiers not without a shot of making the top 4 in 2025, maybe mounting a very late title defence indeed, Mark Natsman. Let's now say hello to a man who we hope will feature again in 2025. He's a 2-time Woodrow medalist, am I right, Marcus? Just the one. Marcus Stavrou, the skipper, the co-skipper this year of the Old Xaverians, who's been such a magnificent footballer at Toorak Park for such a long time, but unfortunately not taking the field today on account of an ankle injury. He's in the moon boot and he joins us now in the commentary box for our halftime show. Marcus, good afternoon to you.
Hey boys, how are we? How are we doing?
Going very well. Your team is performing quite well without you.
Yeah, really good start. Obviously a few injuries the last few weeks. Got a few younger boys, different bit of mix, but they've come to play, which has been really good to see.
Talk us through the injury, mate. You're having such a stellar season, Big V representation. You look like you might be leading your team to a finals appearance, your first one since 2016, and then unfortunately the left ankle. What's the go?
Just in that old Brighton game, just got stuck under a couple bodies in a tackle in the second quarter. Got scans during the week because it still wasn't feeling right, and grade 3 syndesmosis. So got unfortunately had to get the surgery, got the rope put through the ankle, so now just race against the clock to get back for finals.
How does it look for you?
Trying to be as optimistic as possible. First final obviously is the goal, which would be 4.5 weeks. But obviously, if not, definitely we'll be able to play that second week.
So you mentioned the injuries. We know that your running mate inside there, another Woodrow medalist, Sam Fisher, is also done for the year with the hamstring tendon. Alex Sprallia's been out there today with Corky, I believe.
Yeah, caught from last week.
After that win over Collegians. You seem to have really lifted, especially today, with reduced numbers around the footy. Take us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we just had a focus this week, just a lot of playing your role. We've got an amazing depth at this football club and a lot of guys who have been toiling away in the twos who, wanted this opportunity to play once football. So they've got it. And, yeah, as you said, they've taken it and run with it this half. It's been really good to watch.
Great indication of the depth around the club. But now tell me, Steph, what sort of footy watcher are you? Because you're a player. When you're not playing, I reckon it's the hardest game in the world to watch.
Yeah, it is. It's very difficult to watch. Last week was tough, especially knowing, Collegians came out really roaring last week. And obviously the first game not playing. Trying to be as optimistic and positive as possible around the bench and just sort of, with the guys there. So trying to, play a different role. Obviously can't be out there, so still trying to be involved as much as I can.
Yeah, so talk us through that. What are you doing? Are you taking a line, involved with a line, or just some mentoring?
A little bit of mentoring. A few of the young guys, Sammy Hansen, Charlie Holmes, those guys who have come in and they're playing really good for us and they're going to be, important into finals. Just trying to help them with as much as I can, sort of bounce off them. They can bounce off me, any questions or whatnot. And obviously just the whole group as well as a whole, still trying to be, we've got a massive final series to come. It's not all, it's got heaps to play for still. So I'm trying to do that bit as well.
One of our favourites up on the SEN Match of the Day call has been Charlie McIsaac this year. He's been trying to take Mark of the Year every time we call him.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Today, he almost looks like he's trying to get himself suspended. Just plenty to say with the University Blues defenders. Have you got out to him and said maybe pull your head in a little bit?
No, I think he's playing on the line. Obviously, he knows he probably gets a lot of attention each week in and out. Maybe taking out his frustration. As long as it's, all within legal rights and sort of helps the team, I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
And it's just about a mathematical certainty that you will be playing the Tunners in a couple of weeks' time for a place in the grand final. Mm-hmm. What can you tell us about this team? You've played them a couple of times. We hope that you're fit to play them in a couple of weeks' time when you do take them on at Elstonwick Park. How are you going to beat them?
I think with our ball movement, that's probably our key. They've probably stifled us the last couple of times, especially at their ground, which they play really well. I think that's been our strength this year, our ball movement and our run and carry. We've been able to score goals quickly. We think we'll be able to, if we can move the ball, we've got unbelievable forwards down there led by Charlie himself. And we can kick a score, which will, hopefully, we'll play them in a few weeks' time, put us in front.
So with the goal to get back for that first final, are you doing anything, letting touch work or anything to try and keep anything in the tank at all? Or?
A little bit of touch work, more in the gym at the moment, sort of rehabbing, trying to keep the calf and the Achilles sort of areas as strong as possible. So when I do get the boot off, can sort of get into running as quick as possible. So that's probably the main goal at the moment. But yeah, still around the boys Tuesday, Thursday with the footy in hand.
Marcus, before we let you go. Second half ahead, you're up by 29 points. You're looking pretty good. What are we to look out for in this second half if you guys are to win this game of footy?
I think first and foremost, our contest work. Oscar Duncan, who obviously has come in for Big Spag this week, has been unbelievable. Just getting to work, they've obviously got some dangerous mids, led by Darcy Churgwin. And then just defensively, I think we just got to keep pressing up. That's when we play our best footy and, cause turnovers in the middle of the ground, and then we can score off that.
Well, mate, all the best for your recovery. I hope we get to call you out in the field again soon and never have to speak to you in the commentary box at halftime ever again.
Thanks, Paddy. Appreciate it. Cheers, boys.
Marcus Stavro, the injured co-captain of the Old Xaverians, who is making a rush at trying to play footy again in 2025, and hopefully we see him in a few weeks' time at Elstonwick Park taking on Old Brighton and leading out the Old Xaverians once again. Hugo Higginbotham, before we take a break, 68 playing 39. Where does the game have to change for the University Blues if they want to win this game of footy?
The Blues have to start winning a bit of ground ball, but I would like to see a little bit more lateral movement and take it away from congestion, because they're probably losing the contested ball today, and that's where it's hurting them, especially with the overlap handball and run of the Zabs, which they are famous for. So maintain a bit of possession too, and they've got to get back for nearly 5 goals, so it's a long way back when they've only kicked 6 for the day.
Boundary rider is Raj Johnston, and he's made the mad dash up the stairs here at Toorak Park to join us in the commentary box for his halftime notes. Raj, who have you spoken to, and what do they have to say?
Hello, Paddy. Spoke with Matt Smith as they were walking off the ground. Thank you to Matt for his time, as always. He was pretty clear they've got to stop the Zavs' forward movement. They're running in waves off the back of stoppages. In his words, they're lethal when they get going, so that's front of mind for him. As for his own side, he thinks they're trying to possess the ball and overusing it a bit too much. They're inviting pressure, depriving forwards of that opportunity inside 50, so they just need to simplify it and take it back a step. Haven't had a chance to speak with the Zavs yet, but we'll endeavour to do that and get back to you.
Fantastic stuff, Raj. It's the Old Xaverians 10-8-68, the University Blues 6-3-39, the second half not too far away.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
The Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Star Award recognises the competition's most talented young players. Each week, the VAFA Rising Star Committee receives nominations for one male and one female player aged 20 years or under who played no more than 7 senior games before this season. Our overall season winners will be declared the Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Stars for 2025. So, if your club has a young gun making their mark, nominate them now at media@vafa.com.au.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Tickets are now on sale for one of the signature events on the VAFA calendar, the 2025 William Buck VAFA Finals Luncheon, held on Friday, September 5 at Zinc Fed Square. Join us as we celebrate the road to the VAFA and AFL finals with 5-time Premiership player Dermot Brereton and 2-time Brownlow medalist Greg Diesel Williams. Secure your tickets today at vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
The Old Xaverians 10-8-68 leading the University Blues 6-3-39 at half-time at Toorak Park. They led it by 14 points at the first break and increased their advantage over the second term. They lead it by a tick under 5 goals and look, a pretty safe bet, Brent Sternberg and Hugo Higginbotham to continue on their merry way and take another victory in season 2025, which would absolutely tie up a top 2 place. It is still mathematically possible for the Zavs to be knocked out of second by St Kevin's, but that possibility is decreasing by the second. Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
Yeah, look, it would be a very important win for them today because, talking to Marcus Stavro at half-time, geez, he talks well, doesn't he? I think career in the media and coming for him, but They are quite deficient with injuries today. So to get this one, and when they know they've got players coming back, that would be an amazing recovery by Stavro to play that first final. But if anyone could do it, he would. He can do everything, the guy.
The level 3 syndesmosis was the injury. For those who just missed our half-time show, Paddy Grindlay, Brent Sternberg, Hugo Higginbotham and Raj Johnston on the call here for the SEN app, SEN website, vafa.com.au as well, where you can watch us live here at Toorak Park, where it is sunny and it's the Old Zavs with 10 first-half goals in command. Marcus Stavro and Sam Fisher, unlikely, I think you'd say, Hugo, to feature again in 2025. So Dan Donati will have to turn to others. And those he's turned to today have played excellent games of footy. Dennis Semiopoulos has 2 goals from half forward. I've really liked the inside performance of Sam Hansen in just his 13th senior game. The 21-year-old has been good in the inside midfield at the number 51. So they can find the foot soldiers, but it's pretty tricky to replace a pair of Woodrow medalists.
It is, but the guy's stepping up and they wanted this opportunity and they're getting it. But Fennelly's been very good down back for the Zabs too. He's been a great intercept option down there. They bat deep, though. I did notice their twos got beaten today, that's unheard of.
Big surprise, yeah. Well, almost a third of their team today here in the seniors played in that reserve premiership last year, and so many of them have had an impact. I mean, Goss, not up at half forward. Hamish McIsaac has kicked a couple of goals. Connor Dunn as well. You know, they're all. You would not look at those guys and think, oh, they're reserve players. Like they are. We talk about the depth. They are bona fide senior players.
Well, a lot of clubs they would be senior players.
Yeah, precisely. Yep.
And they get to bring back someone like Campbell Lane, who was playing most of his footy for Collingwood VFL over the last couple of years, and he gets to start in the wing and play exceptional footy. So the third quarter is ahead for Honan Capital. As I mentioned, Brent Sternberg, Hugo Higginbotham, Paddy Grindlay and Raj Johnston, your call team today behind the glass in the newly renovated Toorak Park, and what a pavilion they've managed to put up. It would be fitting if the Zavs can cap off a year where they've put up a new pavilion with another premiership flag, but there's still a fair bit of water to go under the bridge before we get to that point. The third quarter ahead, Brent Sternberg on the call.
Zavs begin with a 29-point head start. They have not lost this season, the red and black, when leading at half-time. We're underway in the middle. After the football was O'Brien for the Blues. He overran it, and so the Zavs go forward off the boot of Phipps Parsons. Kicks for McIsaac. That was Charlie who was wrestling with Conway. Pulled clear by Knott. Throws it on the left boot. Puts it right there. Bounces across the goal mouth. And doing his best to try and keep it in there was the Blues defender. Wasn't able to do so, and it goes out of play in the right pocket. That was Mitch Taylor. And so not a bad result in the end for the Zavs, who will now set up with a forward 50, I should say, stoppage.
Especially with how dangerous their forward defensive players are today, so something could happen here.
Yeah, you're spot on, Hugo. The throw-in is a little bit shallow in nature. Sam Grimley won't mind. He took it out of the ruck and he kicked it to the Townsend direction. He leapt. Duncan just sort of slapped it back inside 50 in the Hanson direction. His handball through was no good and cut down by Curran and Goddard, and the Blues momentarily clear the ball towards Billy Furphy, who took the ball. He was taken down in a tackle straight away by Connor Dunn. And it'll be thrown in the air, centre half forward for the Zavs. They won this corresponding fixture by 2 points in Parkville back in round 7. They look to have improved since, as Bilston McGillen soccers it inside 50. Here comes Woodhouse. Couldn't take the ball cleanly. O'Shea, big tackle inside defensive 50. And another stoppage here for the Old Zavs in their front half. As we mentioned just before the quarter started, 14-point leaders at quarter time, 29-point leaders at half time. We've got an issue here. Unfortunately, there's a very sore Zavs player. Looks like Campbell Lane, actually, who is hobbling, and he looks a touch sore. I think it might be the right hand, but he looks okay to continue as Grimley takes the ball out of the ruck, steps to the side and kicks it high and long down the wing.
Dexterity of the big fella, did it well. Bit of an aimless kick out towards the outer side. It takes a wicked bounce and it comes up the way of Dunn. That was Connor. His handball missed the injured Campbell Lane. He went past it. Charlie Furphy ducks in and out of a tackle. It's on the outer wing. Furphy gets them to half forward. It's pretty open up ahead. It's another shocking bounce that favours the Zavs. Trigger goes through hand. His teammate tried to find Fennelly. He couldn't get onto the bouncing ball, and now we've got a game of Twister playing out at ground level. And a ball up on the attacking point of the centre square for the Blues, who have gotten it to half forward, but it didn't look very promising or clean, Hugo.
No. When was the last time you played Twister?
I don't think I've ever played it.
Really?
I just know of it.
You'd be good at it.
Just watched Will Goss do the right-hand yellow. Didn't look very comfortable. Here's Phipps Parsons. He's ripped off the footy by O'Brien. Duncan took the spillage, kicked it down the far side wing. Conway chasing McIsaac, rides his hip all the way through and then ushers Conway over the white line. Will be thrown in between wing and half forward for the Zavs.
Sticking with that matchup, obviously, Hugo. So McIsaac, kicking those goals in the first half, but they still feel good about it, the Blues, for Conway on McIsaac.
Well, you'd like to back a player like Conway in too, but don't worry, he's living in McIsaac's back pocket at the moment, so we've been watching that. Very physical off the ball it is at the moment.
Grimley scooped it from the ruck, but he was held onto before that, so he'll take the free kick right half back between wing and half back, and he wants the corridor, Brent.
He's having a little spy in there, but eventually he'll just play straight line football and up to the next contest. Fennelly had his name written all over it. Billy Furphy did enough to affect the spoil, and then a loose handball coming forward from the Zavs goes out of bounds. Or throw it in centre wing out of side.
Just noticed Blues have changed their structure a little bit. They're taking a few extra to the contest instead of leaving them up the field, so that's probably why they're going to struggle on exit of a contested ball to have options up the ground. So interesting play there.
Third quarter for Honan Capital. Shallow throw in. Grimley takes it. It didn't get called back. He flops it on the boot. In the middle of the pack was Townsend. Stuck his boot up. He might be a little bit sore in amongst all of that, Townsend, as the Zavs kick it out of bounds on the full. So Charlie Furphy He's going to take his kick out there at right half forward as Townsend goes limping into the forward 50 for the Blues.
A few sore boys already in this third term for Honan Capital. We've gone 4 minutes. And no goal yet. McCulloch first in the chain for the Blues. He marks. He's 52 metres from goal. He's a left footer. Not a particularly long one. His kick was smothered. Woodhouse takes a spillage and the Zabs could get them the other way. The Blues defence is ready. It needs to be. And O'Shea takes the footy off the spilling hands of Delaney. And the Blues recover. Ryan slung to the deck legally by Westcott. The umpire takes pity. Outer side wing, neutral territory.
Just noticed the umpire talking to Hart there because he was watching him when that ball was smothered. There was a really heavy contest between the two players, nowhere near the ball.
Still on Stewart. That's been a fun matchup today. Stewart, though, with 3 goals as Duncan hacks it into the hands of Woodhouse. Didn't travel the required. Phipps-Parsons right there. Fed it through to Bilston McGillen, who couldn't take the ball cleanly. Neither could Simeopoulos. LaCava worrying him off the Sherrin. Geordie gets it back, and LaCava in the Townsend direction once again, and he marks. A step ahead of Connor Dunn. He turns inside 50. Stewart, when will he lead? He leads now. He charges up. The kick was clipped by a hand on its way through. Stewart happy to go with a big old tackle on Tommy Dunn, who was down and sore, and maybe got him high, did he?
Yeah, he certainly did.
So a free kick going the way of Tom Dunn.
Sorry, Hugo. It's the second time already going inside 50 that the Blues have kicked it into the player on the mark. They've got no room for error in the second half. They can't be doing that. The Zavs try to bring it up the middle. Hugo's thoughts in just a moment. Woodhouse up to the wing. Go on, Hugo.
Oh, nothing more frustrating as a coach than when a player kicks into a man on the mark, because all it is once take an extra step back.
Bilston McGillen, and now Phipps-Parsons doesn't go for goal. He goes for Charlie McIsaac, who comes sprawling out, dropped the mark, and he's quickly in the tackle. Released it. Simeopoulos, like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands, but he put it into the goal post. And it's just a behind. Don't look at me like that, Paddy. O'Shea brings it back in for the Blues.
O'Shea to Lloyd, you've just put me off a little bit there, Brent.
A bit thrown there too.
I like it. It was a great call.
I'm trying to visualise it.
Lloyd. 69 plays 39, 30-point lead for Honan Capital for the Zavs. Fennelly spoiled away from him by Furphy. It was Billy. Oscar Duncan's involved. He's wrapped up by O'Sullivan. Rides a rough shot over the number 19. Will be thrown up in between the benches, broadcast side.
See, with Blues rolling the extra one to the contest, they're going to have to accept that they're going to get some intercept marks because Zavs have more behind the ball when they kick it forward, the Blues.
Tex Wanganeen runs onto the ground. He's got a right shoulder issue, but still continuing on. Here is Robinson. Billy Furphy by hand to Churgwin. Impeded as he kicked. It's an awkward-looking thing inside 50. Connor Dunn cuts it down with ease. And he'll just hand it off to Goss, who went with the running back sort of looping around the quarterback kind of motion. Kicked it wide to Fennelly on the bounce. It was a bit awkward. Fennelly's kick skips over the hands of O'Sullivan and finds Duncan beneath us.
It was an amazing shoot there by Fennelly. Jeez, he's having a great game today.
Just one behind to tell you about in this third quarter. That went the way of the Zabs, so the margin is 5 goals. Wanganeen right on the boundary. Centre wing broadcast side. Tosses it up towards half forward. Arriving there late was not. He couldn't take the mark. He then got the ground ball and then got stung in the tackle as the handball is ricocheted out of bounds and the umpire calls for a throw in. 10-9 plays 6-3. Zavs in front, Hugo.
So, yeah, just the pressure around the ball. You really want to see the players try and move it away because otherwise it's just going to be congestion, which is what we're seeing at the moment.
Duncan from the restart tips it down. Westcott couldn't take it. It's still there to be won at ground level. Brosnahan foraging in, got flattened in the tackle. Curran couldn't do much with it. Ryan tries to bring the Blues out of trouble. LaCava slipped over and then handballed right to Hanson, who rattles the kick out into the pocket. Lloyd stood on the tracks as Delaney came thundering out. And they both bounce off one another and the ball spills out of play. They did well to gain some territory there, the Zavs, to be tossed in the right forward pocket.
Yeah, very physical at the moment as well. So it is going to be a game of territory until one side decides to take it on. And I think the Blues have to do that now. They've got to try and pull the trigger to get a few back.
So Brimley down to Churgwin. Hacks it high, broadcast side. Hart and Stewart wrestle as the ball travelled over both of their heads. Tracked down first by Fennelly to Connor Dunn, who wheels around him with a precise left foot pass. Beautiful stuff to Goss. And he can kick the skin off it. Hasn't got many options down the line, so just sits it up for the Flyers. It's going to fall a little bit short. Where's McIsaac? You always worry about him in that situation. Grimley, though, too strong, too good. Holds up in front of his own bench across left half back and commences a long switch. Fulton first in the chain, the late in for Marty Gleeson. Spreads it to Goddard on the bounce. By hand to Lloyd. Look out, Wanganeen's coming. Lloyd got rid of it in the nick of time. Went for a Koch, who was maybe pushed. No, the umpire called him to play, and the Zavs will go back to go forward. Here's Fennelly.
Lost their way a little bit there, the Blues. Fennelly takes another mark on the outer edge of the centre square. There's something happening 100 metres off the ball.
Yeah, that's the trainer's tearing out there and we're going to play it down.
Again.
Yeah.
It's that right arm which is the problem.
I think he copped a bump as after that ball left that area, and yeah, that right arm again. It's not looking good there.
I'll be astounded if he comes back after leaving the field of play here, because he had we hope it was maybe a stinger in the first half, in the first quarter in fact, and didn't return for quite a while, came back on for a trot, came back out after half-time, but now, the right arm not looking in a great way here, Tex Wanganeen. Unfortunate.
The game halted for a moment at the 9.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Just been a little bit of sparring in this term, only one behind. Wanganeen coming from the ground again. He come from the ground last week 2 or 3 times as well. I mentioned right off the top that he was in the wars. And the Zavs also have Alex Trigger down below us. He's just getting some running repairs, I think, Alex. So he'll be back underway in just a moment. Fennelly will take his kick. Very short he comes. They try and plot their way forward, the red and black. Holmes knocks it out into the pocket. McIsaac and Conway. Conway the spoil. Brusnahan front and centre. Worried out of it. Churgwin manufactures a handball. The Blues clear the area. Oh, Townsend just about manages to hold on. And racing in was Billy Furphy to lay a tackle, and we're back in midfield. Just forward to centre for the Zavs. They lead 10-9 to the Blues 6-3.
Just notice when Wanganeen came off the field there, they've taken him through the race, so he can still come on the field, but now he's going into the rooms with the trainer. So.
Straight into the rooms for Tex Wanganeen. The kick went inside the Zavs 50. Joey Ryan ate it up and then goes out wide. That's a dangerous kick. Here comes Hamish McIsaac. He's clattered into the side of Taylor, and not happy at all is Fulton with Hamish McIsaac, and now he's got an issue. Taylor arguing with the umpire. He wants 50. He won't get it.
There wasn't much in that. No. He did try to pull up, but it was very, very gentle, not like in the old days.
Under the pressure of not. Hugo, you know a bit about that. Long down the wing, Townsend from 2 deep, got 2 hands to it, couldn't bring the ball down. Curran applies a tackle. The umpire's seen enough.
I was on the end of a few.
Fulton, I think, just flying the flag there for the Blues.
Yep.
Which is good. You want to see that. You don't want to see them not defending each other.
Grindlay down for O'Sullivan. He ran past the footy. Curran tries to wade through a few red and black jumpers, and Hansen says this far but no further.
It's noticing, Paddy, we called the Blues last week. Their feeling was a lot better on the ground. They seem a little bit flatter, a bit despondent today.
Zavs whack it forward. O'Shea dilly-dallied a moment and then kicked it to Goss, who handballed it. I don't believe it. He put it near Duncan, who had it and lost it. They scrounged for it again. In on the tackle now was Holmes, Billy Furphy, and amongst that, it's tough to extract the football out of there.
I've heard of footballers carrying their left or right foot for balance. He carries his arms for balance, Goss. If he didn't have to drop it onto his foot, he'd just cut them off, I reckon.
20 disposals a game he's averaging. He's going at 73% disposal efficiency this season, so you can see why they try and get it in his hands and get him to kick the football, as we've got repeat stoppages on the broadcast wing here. Duncan, I think that's a little sore.
Yeah, he copped an errant boot to the head, unfortunately.
Right back into the cut and thrust of it, grappling with Grimley. Grimley took it out of the ruck, tried to throw it onto his boot and missed it. Curran trying to barge through. It's taken out of there by Knott, who kicks the Zavs to half forward. Taylor right over the top of the Zavs forward, no free kick. Charlie McIsaac from the right half forward flank. Phipps, Parsons, brilliant. Tracked it so well, going back against the flight of the ball and took the mark at the top of the goal square, and you'd think this will be our first goal of the third quarter.
Well, that was amazing by McIsaac there. It's spin around, get that ball to a high advantage, and Phipps Parsons just beautifully running forward and caught the Blues defenders napping. They all came up the field. So it was a bit of carnage, a bit of chaos there. Where players down everywhere for a minute there. So it's a very physical game going on at the moment.
Oscar Duncan comes to the bench to have a bit of a breather. Just count everything, see it's all in order. Phipps Parsons, we told his story in the second term. He's only 10 metres out. He's as good as directly in front. It should be his second goal. It should be a 6-goal lead for the Zavs, and it is. And 13 minutes into the third quarter for Hone and Capital, the shackles are broken by a Sterling Phipps Parsons goal that gets the Zavs out to a 36-point worrying lead.
Yes, it's becoming a bit ominous now, isn't it? They're always, they're good around the contest, the Zavs. Then with Blues changing that structure, taking extras up to the stoppage, that they're struggling for avenues to go forward. They get those clearances, and then it comes back with interest.
Around the grounds in just a second. Did notice as well Charlie Holmes looking a touch sore, but Trainer went out to attend to him and he waved them off. So good to go, the number 33 for the Zavs. Woodhouse and a Koch in the middle of the ground. And here they come again. Hanson inside 50. Phipps. Parsons! No. Behind him. Great mark by Lloyd.
He's a good player, this guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's played some games for Geelong VFL this year. He has got a sure pair of hands. Jack O'Sullivan was jumping up and down on the broadcast wing, wanting the footy.
He was 97 metres away from the ball there.
Yeah, Goddard is the other option on the right half-back flank, and Fulton back and across go the Blues. He's the target here at left half-back, and O'Sullivan leading up to be next in the chain, but just couldn't get enough pace to get away from Hamish McIsaac, so Fulton bites off the corridor kick. It's got to be precise, it is. He hits the chest of Archie Lord. He's at the outermost point of the centre square. Another low kick, that'll be cut down. It's just not looked fluid from the Blues, and Woodhouse takes the intercepting mark.
No, they're very kick marked. There's no overlap run, no run from behind at all. And it's just making it easier for the defenders to come up and chop off. So
Woodhouse gives up ground to Connor Dunn at right half-back in the shadows of the new function centre. Very dangerous kick in the middle. The Koch brings it down. Billy Furphy might have been held off it. Now Bilston, McGillen, Fennelly, and they should be out of trouble. The Zavs. Tom Dunn brings his kick into midfield. It's marked by Simiopoulos, and disaster averted for the X-Men. It's Holmes, rather, who kicks for Simiopoulos. It'll bounce in front of him. It'll bounce past him, but he receives the handball. Suddenly the Zavs are at left half forward. Kick doesn't quite reach the sliding Charlie McIsaac. It's there at ground level for him, but he quickly attracts a crowd, as the superstars do. And a ball up out in the left forward pocket, 25 out from the Zavs goal.
Very nearly took that one, but he's done well to get some congestion and watching for this dangerous play around the stoppage with those defensive small forwards.
So ball in the air, 25 metres out from the Zavs goal. Koch is after it for the Blues, defending grimly in this third term. Not Sam, LaCava. Little kick along the boundary line, and they escape now. Stewart's backing back. He wants this footy on the bounce. Townsend's with him. Stewart's after it. Mohammed, too good. Took the ball cleanly, spread the football out to Hamish McIsaac, and the Zavs are out broadcast side. Tregar, the handball target. Here goes the kick inside 50. It'll carry Knott over his head. Just about carried Westcott, rather, to Knott, and he kicks it on the bounce, though, disappointingly into the forward pocket, and they'll pile atop the football. No chance there for his leading forward in Brosnahan. It'll be thrown up 35 metres from goal.
Just a classic example of the spread and the overlap run of the Zavs, and probably unfortunate that kick didn't carry, otherwise it's a shot on goal. Oops.
Westcott was in the ruck there. I think he's got a free kick. He does. Hand over the shoulder. So the Old Xaverians will get a set shot at goal to stretch the margin beyond 40 points. And it would be a game-high lead. Not an easy kick, though. 45-degree angle, maybe a little bit tougher. 30 metres from goal. Westcott has kicked 6 goals in 11 senior games this season. Was terrific last week. 18 touches, 6 inside 50s. Didn't kick a goal, but 7 score involvements. This would just about turn the lights out on the University Blues. We're looking at Charlie Westcott, who has kicked a behind. He tugged it away to the left-hand side, he did. And 11-10-76, the Zavs, and the Uni Blues 6-3-39 at the 17-minute mark of the third quarter.
For Marshall White, Old Brighton by 5 points over Collegians. St Bernard's by 6 goals over Old Haileybury. St Kevin's 81-32. They lead that one. Quick maths, 49 points at the TH King. And Old Scotch by 69 points over the University Blacks, doing it nicely. Here's Goddard. The Blues went all the way to right half forward as I read out those scores, and that's a punt return. Straight up and down, and Tom Dunn takes it on the chest and feeds it to Goss. In the right back pocket, he works himself into a dangerous place against Stewart and then switches fields to Lane. So 76 plays 39 for Home and Capital, 17.5 gone this third term. Lane had to be very, very precise to Bilston McGillen. Hamish McIsaac, it slipped through his fingers 12 metres out, and the Zavs do a good job of rushing it behind. It was a problem of their own making. The Blues moved to 6-5-41. The Zavs 11-10-76, 35 points clear. 18 minutes down this third term for Home and Capital.
It was, but the Blues did a really good job of taking away all the options there, which is what they need to do. Make it hard for them.
Goss from the kick in. Oh, it doesn't reach hands, and it's brilliantly intercepted. Like a cornerback, if we're going with the NFL terminology. And Jack O'Sullivan marks just outside the arc, and he thinks he's within range.
You blokes have lost me, then I cannot sit and watch that game.
We're watching Jack O'Sullivan, who's kicked a goal already today, to keep the Blues in with a sniff as we head for time on. In the third quarter, it went nowhere near the goals. It lands 20 metres out. Mohammed stands his ground. He had a great moment a couple of minutes ago on the wing where he left his man and got the Zavs going forward again. Second senior game for the season after playing 3 early last year. Gets underneath the kick. Brosnahan camped underneath it, in over the top. O'Sullivan for the Blues. Brought it to ground. There's a whistle.
What's going on here?
It's coming back to Mohammed at full back. And I can't tell you why. I have no idea. Paddy?
Yep, must have been something going on behind the mark, I imagine, with Goss that the umpire didn't like. Goss will now get the handball receive and go far side instead of broadcast side. Effective, finds Knott, who's been good today across half forward. He ran forward. Surely, did he play on nose to the umpire?
It doesn't matter if they run forward, because unless the umpire...
his line, didn't he?
Unless the umpire calls play on, then it doesn't matter. They can do anything they want. It's a common trap for players.
So 50, and it's a pretty short 50 in truth for Bobby Knott, as he's called here at Toorak Park. 60 metres out from goal, sideways for Lane, who's at the intersection. It's a forward 50 arc in the boundary line. Good place for a man called Lane to have it. His kick inside 50 is no good. Conway takes the ball up and under, hoping for Goddard. The boundary will beat him. Over the fence it goes to be thrown in between the arcs. Not much to write home about this third term. Just the one goal going the way of Sterling Phipps Parsons. The Zavs 11-10-76. The Blues 6-4-40 for Honan Capitals. We tick into time on.
Despite all the Zavs' dominance, their lead is only stretched by 1 goal, Hugo.
Yeah, it hasn't been many scores. It hasn't reached great heights this quarter, to be quite honest. It's turned into a bit of a contest fest.
Throw it in on the outer wing. The Blues race in to lock up the Zavs ball carrier.
As we go again. So Blues are still playing that pressure game, but they're probably not getting the ball out enough. They're not winning enough of it. So
Grindlay takes it out of the ruck, trying to get some territory for the Blues. Throws it on the boot. It comes off hands. There's a whistle. It's a free kick. It's going the way of the Blues, and just taking too long to take advantage there was the Blues player. Ryan, I think it might have been, so it's coming back.
Hard to be happy with that because Stewart took the mark then.
Yeah, exactly.
Whitehead it was who had to give it back. So the Blues are coming into the 50 through the hands of Mohammed. Dunn was there for cover. Kicks without looking. Oh, good attack on the football. Charlie Knott flattened Churgwin, who was going back with the flight. Knott takes the mark at half-back for the Zavs.
Yeah, feeds it for Phipps Parsons. 6-goal lead for the Zavs. And just strangling the Blues a little bit at the moment. To Goss, right back pocket. They'll horseshoe Toorak Park here. Goss bites off the trickier of a few options to Dunn and past the test with flying colours. That's not a great exiting kick from Brosnahan. Straight into the breadbasket of O'Sullivan, and he's got the corridor, and it's Churgwin. He's going to go sideways here, Darcy Churgwin. He is a long kick of the footy.
Starting to get some front half turnovers here, the Blues. They've just got to get some reward on the scoreboard for it.
Darcy Churgwin, will he roll out the barrel? He maybe just teased us. Instead he'll go with the drop punt. It's a massive kick. Stewart, he did all the body work, and it slipped through the fingers of James Stewart, and the opportunity goes begging. 6-5-41 the Blues, 11-10-76 the Old Xaverians for Honan Capital.
Goss from the kick in, Brosnahan and Hamish McIsaac look at one another. Brosnahan takes the mark, gave it off to Tom Dunn, and then up to the wing for Duncan, and they threatened to go the length of the field, the Zavs, although Hanson turned into trouble. LaCava grabbed him, and now the Blues take their turn going forward. They kick for Stewart. It's gone very wide. Spoil is made. Stayed in the field of play. Yes! Trickles it in for a beauty! And a potential for Higgins' goal of the day. And finally, into time on in the third quarter, the Blues have their goal. And, a little bit of luck here and there. You've got to make your own luck in this caper sometimes, Hugo, but a mighty fine finish from Archie Lord.
Absolutely. That was, if it falls in your hands like that, but geez, I had my heart in my mouth when he kicked that dribbler then. I was burnt by one of those in a final, Brent. You lost it.
And you took it really well.
You put that behind you?
You wouldn't want to be my head late at night, I tell you. Anyway, I'm just noticing we're starting to get some front half footy for the Blues, and they are getting some front half turnovers off the Zavs ball, which is good. So they just need to get maybe one or two. We're into red time now, so a couple more will be handy.
Curran has his, face ripped off just about by Duncan. He's back to his feet, can take his free kick and run around the arc, and he kicks an awkward-looking ball inside 50. Fennelly's after it for the Zavs. McCulloch came in too hot and caught him around the neck. So Fennelly will take it from centre half back.
Well, at least they're going to give it high, and Petch will be happy with this. They're really making him earn it, aren't they? They're really getting in hard. So.
Jed Fennelly just a little bit slow to his feet.
He's been good today, though.
And the umpire just grabbing the footy because...
it must be blood rule.
Yep. Didn't see an X sign, but Fennelly, holding the right arm. Might be a hand issue here for Jed. It's not a blood rule because the umpire will start play as soon as Jed Fennelly cleared the area. So that's an injury, which is not good for Jed Fennelly. Already down, we assume, Wanganeen. Now Fennelly jogs off Toorak Park. The Zavs go wide. Far wing, Mohammed will feed Lane.
Over the top, that'll change things if Fennelly's out of the game. Eliminates one of the Zavs' great intercept defenders. Westcott receives the handball. They're going forward, the red and black. Semiopolis comes up and takes the mark. Wasn't 15. Realises just in the nick of time. He goes for some deep waters to the goal square. Delaney was there, didn't reach him. Well done, Lloyd cutting across and through for a minus score. 11-11, 77 the Zavs. And the Blues 7-5, 47. As they come short from the kick in the Blues, this is Grimley kicks as far as he can. It's a very open front half. Stewart and Hart. Hart did enough to affect the spoil, and he has friends to meet him in Goss. Handball for Trigger, a little fumble into the back pocket. Nervy moment here for the red and black. Trigger over the top of the football. They jump on top of him. It's right near the boundary line, about 35 metres from the Blues' goal. That's where we'll have a ball up. Still leading by 30 points, the Zavs, but the Blues are having some good moments here late in the third term for Honan Capital.
And Archie Lord is having himself a really good 5 minutes. Great tackle there to tie up the footy. Stewart tries to wade his way through. Gets a haphazard sort of kick to the top of the square. All Zavs. Mohammed takes the ball and he's going to go on a bouncing run. Two of them as he clears the 45-metre arc and handballs to Tom Dunn. Takes his turn, kicks it out wide, wants the run of Lane. He's got Goddard riding shotgun. Lane, too good, got to the footy first. Goddard ties him up for just a moment. Neutral territory centre wing, 30-point lead to the Zavs. Potentially two down on the bench. Wanganeen and Fennelly both hurt. Lane takes his time, kicks it to the 45-metre arc. The kick carried the contesting players. Taylor's got a McIsaac problem. He needs to be careful here. Mitch Taylor, he might have dived on that footy. What does the umpire say?
Yes.
Oh, no.
You always get concerned when the umpire waits and watches. You go, what's he going to pull out here?
It'll be thrown up 30 metres from goal. The Zavs in attack.
Grimley is in the ruck. He's going against Duncan. Grimley won it. Kicked quickly away by O'Brien of the Blues. It pitches on its end. Mohammed is there. He rips it away. He played it ever so well. Lane. Yeah, short kick to Phipps Parsons, who was just hiding in a bit of space that he turns his back on the goal.
This would be for 3 in a row, by the way, for Sterling Phipps Parsons as far as the red and black are concerned.
So Mohammed's been very good off halfback. That run and carry, I can see what you're saying, Brent, about him last week. He's definitely continuing that form.
Only had the 9 disposals last week, Mohammed, but I was very surprised when I had a look at our Premier Data friends just giving him the 9 touches. Felt like he had double that. As we see Wanganeen emerging in the club polo, so they are officially down 1, the Zavs. Potentially 2 as Fennelly's having his right wrist looked at. We're having a look at Phipps Parsons, who's out at left half forward. This to re-establish a 6-goal lead for the Zavs and to get his third. Sterling. It's just drifting. It started online, didn't it? But it fades away and in for a behind. So the Zavs are 11-12 and the Blues are 7-5. And we've played 27 minutes in the third quarter.
Yeah, with the Blues, they really have to start playing some run-carry football because that kick mark's not working for them.
Jed Fennelly being put through his paces beneath us. Hugo?
Yeah, that appears to be more of an elbow issue. So it was quite a hard hit. Quite a thorough going over too.
Blues with the footy out of side. O'Shea under pressure. Handballs along the boundary line was pushed, I think, Cam O'Shea. So we'll get the football back. As Jed Fennelly looks to be making his way back towards the bench. So hopefully good signs for the big V-Rep, the number 2 for the Zavs, who's been so good down back today. O'Shea from the intersection of the 45-metre arc of the boundary line, dumps it near Koch's direction, who waits for it a touch, but holds onto it and gave it away. And here go the Blues inside 50. O'Sullivan, couldn't bring it down. Grabs the footy. Dunn grabs him. That's Tom. Did well, Tommy Dunn. Ties up the footy and will be rewarded with a free kick for holding the footy.
Good grief.
Jack O'Sullivan turns to the man in green and says, what do you want me to do? But he did drag the footy in, and the Zavs now through Lane in the right back pocket. With 28 minutes gone in this third term for Honan Capital, they've held off, I imagine, the brunt of this Uni Blues charge.
1 goal apiece in this third term. It's been quite a white-knuckle affair. Charlie McIsaac can't bring down the mark on the three-quarter time siren. He just had a look at Nick Conway, or O'Brien it was, and then he stepped away and thought, no, I can't be bothered. 11-12, 78. The Old Xaverians lead the Uni Blues 7-5, 47. There was a lot of shadow boxing in that third quarter, huffing and puffing from both teams, but at the end of it, 1 goal each. I'm just having a look at Bilston McGillen down here as well, who looks like he's probably... So, but they just cannot get out of a game unscathed at the moment, the Zavs.
It's been the story of the second half of the year for the Old Xaverians, but they're 31 points to the good at three-quarter time. 3 goals for Woodhouse, 2 each for Simeopoulos, Charlie McIsaac, Sterling Fitzparsons and Hamish McIsaac for the Blues. Stewart has 3, O'Sullivan, Townsend, Goddard and Lord, the single goal kickers. For the men from the University in Parkville will be inside Dan Donati's huddle on the other side of this.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Tickets are now on sale for one of the signature events on the VAFA calendar, the 2025 William Buck VAFA Finals Luncheon, held on Friday, September 5 at Zinc Fed Square. Join us as we celebrate the road to the VAFA and AFL Finals with 5-time Premiership player Dermot Brereton and 2-time Brownlow medalist Greg Diesel Williams. Secure your tickets today at vafa.com.au.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com. Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45 p.m. Listen via the app.
Three-quarter time, the Old Xaverians extending their half-time advantage by 2 points in the third, 11-12-78, plays 7-5-47. They are 31 points to the good, the Old Xaverians. They have multiple goal kickers all the way down, and we're about to go inside the huddle of Dan Donati, the Old Xaverians coach for Wagstaff. Raj Johnston is on the scene. He's got the microphone in his hot little hand. The next voice you'll hear is the coach of the Old Xaverians, Dan Donati.
Righto. Hey, look, 30 to go now. What a lot, look. Basic errors probably cost us 2 or 3 goals that quarter. A bit of execution stuff. Into the breeze wasn't that easy, but just again, with little kits, little handballs, tighten that stuff up. But I'm happy we kept trying to do it, though. Kept moving the footy, kept trying to play on, kept them to 1 goal with a 2 or 3 goal breeze. Doesn't mean this quarter's just going to happen either, because they scored 4 into it in the second. 6 inside 50s for 4 in the second they did. So let's make sure we tighten that right up this quarter. And when we get the opportunity, let's move the footy, get off the line, get the overlap run going, lower those like we've been doing. Let's just execute a little bit tighter this quarter. Yeah, that was it. Hey, Dunks, a couple of great efforts. There was one out here where you tackled, then second tackle, then got it out of bounds. It was awesome, mate. I love that sort of stuff. Some really hard efforts all over the ground. Some really good one-on-one kills. Hard quarter of footy. Just take it in. 30 minutes to go now. Let's just really run this game out. See that to half time. Get every bit of legs you can out of the game. Let's have a look how we're going to start. A couple of stats. That's right. A couple of stats. All right. Tackle counts being low.
Great to hear the insights of Dan Donati, the coach of the Old Xaverians, and that's for Wagstaff, an Australian-owned and operated family business that has supplied quality meats both in Australia and abroad since 1908. Wagstaff.com.au for more. We'll hear more from Dan Donati as he steps out of his huddle, with the Zavs leading it by 31 points. Before we do speak to Dan once more, let's go around the grounds for Marshall White, Hugo Higginbotham and Brent Sternberg, because it is a very interesting weekend indeed around William Buck Premier Men's. Old Scotch, 14-7-91, leading the University Blacks 2-4-16. Wow. 75-point leaders, the Cards, over the Blacks. And that is season over for Dale Bauer and his men. If we look over at TH King Oval, St Kevin's 14-10-94 lead, D. Larcell 5-2-32, doing it easily. The Scobbers 62 points to the good. Next at St Bernard's College, isn't this a turn up for the books? The Snow Dogs 86 leading Old Haileybury 49. And then at Brighton Beach Oval, the Tunners 50 playing Collegians 44. Back down to Raj Johnston. He's got the coach of the Old Xaverians.
Thanks, Paddy. Thanks for your time, Dan. Look, the game hit a bit of a stalemate on the scoreboard, but you've got quite the lead. Were you pleased with the third quarter?
Oh, look, I thought we worked hard. I just didn't think we executed well. We turned the ball over and missed probably 4 or 5 kicks going inside 50, which is the money shot. We could have had 2 or 3 goals on it, but kind of kept in, invited a bit of pressure. Their pressure stepped up, and they're a good side. So in the end, it was a tight game, a tight quarter, sorry. So to break even was probably a good result.
So what would a fourth quarter with the game played on your terms look like?
Oh, look, we just want to execute going forward. I think that's the key. By hand and foot, we've been a little bit untidy. So if we can tidy that in the last quarter, get a couple of goals on the board, I'll be pretty satisfied.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks to Raj and Old Xaverians coach Dan Donati there for Wagstaff, Australian-owned and operated family business, wagstaff.com.au. So this big story before we spoke to Dan there is Old Brighton and Collegians. The Tunners 7-8-50, Collegians 7-2-44. And we hear Brent Sternberg that Harry Hill done for the day with a corky from that game of footy. So the Lions and the Snow Dogs could both win this weekend and not necessarily be able to be safe from relegation, as I read it, with how the Authorsport Victoria ladder shapes up, which is just an outstanding result when you consider both those teams are playing top 4 opponents.
And also the Collegians, if they can get over the top there and beat Old Brighton, that has an impact on the top of the ladder as well. If the Zavs go on and win here, they will pull back to premiership points, but they'll still be in front on percentage, I believe. So we are set to go in the final quarter for the Australian venue company. The Zavs with a 31-point lead at three-quarter time. Churgwin emerges with the football, but bustled out of there in the tackle. O'Sullivan's handball gives up a lot of ground into the defensive 50, and then a fumble, and here comes Phipps Parsons. Bilston McGillen flying shot on the run from 30. Missed to the right-hand side, and that would have been a devastating way to start the final term for the Blues. 11-13, 79 the red and black, and the Blues 7-5-47.
Yeah, they need to get on their bike now, the Uni Blues. Played so well in that third term for not much scoreboard reward. Goddard, he'll feed it through. It comes the way of O'Brien. One more handball. Here comes Jack Robinson storming through the guts of Toorak Park. Stewart's his target. Long and deep is the name of the game. He couldn't hold on. Roving the pack and snapping. Oh, couldn't get enough on that kick. Here comes Townsend into the pocket. One way then the other. He's held up. He's gone. Surely. Connor Dunn.
How good have their tackling been today, the Zavs?
Taking away time and space from every Blues player.
And quickly into fullback, and Goss takes the mark.
And swings towards the outer side where it's marked there by Dunn. This is brother Thomas over the top. Here come the Zavs. Trigger got it on to Holmes. Look at them run, the red and black. It'll have to bounce up here for not. That just stymied the momentum for a moment. Lane rumbles on forward, kicks towards Mackay-Zack. It's over his head, but the next one in was Westcott. And goal line to goal line go the red and black. And they might be just about out the front gate and down the street and gone.
Just like that kid with the footy. He's run away with it. No, but they've got amazing ability to bounce out of defensive 50, the Zavs, and then with that overlap chain of handball through the middle of the ground, and they were lining up for that goal then. They work very hard both ways up and down the ground and to space. So this is very good when you've got the injuries that they have for the guys who come up and play their roles and play them really well. That's an encouraging sign for them moving forward.
Game high 38 points now the lead, so it would take something rather magnificent for the University Blues to get back on top, and I suspect it's going to be the Zavs now all the way home. Here comes Holmes. He was tackled as he kicked by O'Brien, so it only went 5 or 6 metres. Here's Churgwin. He slung off his handball. Westcott to not. One way then the other. Bounces off a tackle. Goes for Mackay-Zack. Conway well positioned. Just pushed Mackay-Zack. That's Charlie underneath the footy. Takes the mark and then goes sideways into the back pocket.
It's been a great battle between those two down there today. It's sort of a 50-50 ball every time it comes in, and we know how good Mackay-Zack is at marking.
Right up the middle, no. It's a dreadful Uni Blues kick, and it goes right into the arms, the waiting arms of Ben Bilston McGillen, who was hobbling at three-quarter time, but he's feeling and looking pretty good now, and he's got a set shot right in front.
As he should be too. Sides up and about. One telling stat is, Zaz have had 25 shots on goal, Blues only 12. So that probably gives you an indication of how the game's been. And they've had their chances, the Blues.
So Bilston McGillen is on the runway. Right in front, 3-minute mark, final quarter. Bilston McGillen kicks the goal. And I reckon the Uni Blues can maybe avoid consulting ChatGPT this week because their season will come to an end. The Zavs with 2 quick ones, and they're blowing them out of the water in this 4th quarter for the Australian Venue Company. Here's Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
Yeah, they won't get their answer they're looking for, unfortunately, but they've been amazing at scoring off turnover today, the Zavs as well. They've really hurt the Blues with those errant kicks out of the back line. So they've been excellent. They're really starting to flex the muscle with a diminished bench too, which is quite good. But their spread and their attack on the ball, and like you said, their tackling has been outstanding.
And we did see Campbell Lane at 3/4 time being put through his paces. Apologies for the just whistle into the microphone. Don't know where that came from, but he's back out there starting on the far wing. So all good for the star out of Collingwood VFL, full-time in the Ammos this year. To centre half forward go the Zavs. The fist came by committee, really, from Lloyd and Taylor. And O'Shea has stubbed his toe while he kicked the footy. It went all of 3 metres and into the hands of Holmes, who said, all right, he then gave it to Simeopoulos, to Goss, to Woodhouse, whistle. As Lane has the footy, he'll quickly take the football. No, says the umpire, bring it back. And free kick will go the way here, it looks to be of Hansen. He's 52 metres out from goal as he takes the ball now at right half forward. 45-degree angle, or perhaps a touch kinder, towards right half forward. And going back like a man with intent.
This is once again a shot on goal off a turnover too. Remember that turnover O'Shea just there, so they can certainly make them hurt.
It's another one of those players who played in last year's reserves premiership. Sam Hansen, who had Goss coming to his right-hand side, he ignored him. He's eyeing the big sticks for goal number 2 of his senior career as an Old Xaverian from just outside the arc. It might not have the length, this one, it falls short. McIsaac at the back, Westcott pulls it down and has a chance to kick his 2nd of the quarter, steps around and does so. And the Old Zavs, party time now, 50 points they lead, 97 plays, 47 for the Australian Venue Company. It's going to be the Old Xaverians at home. They make Toorak Park a fortress, and once we hear the thoughts of Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ, we might head around the grounds for one last look at Brighton Beach Oval, because the Tunners have just got started well in this final term.
Yes, no, it'll be very rewarding for Dan Donati because they are a bit banged up at the top end, and for the guys to come in and play their role is excellent, but the execution as well around the ground has been really good. So that was an amazing mark by Westcott. They were lined up there. So
he had no right, did he?
No, he didn't. It was the 4th one in the queue.
So for Marshall White, the Tunners get the first goal of the final term to go out to a 2-goal lead. Collegians have responded, 58 plays 52.
On their way to their 14th victory, the Zavs, and they're going to do it with the leg in the air as Hansen lost it in the tackle. And a free kick for holding the ball, drawn by Charlie Furphy, who's battled away in the coalface today for the Blues. All racked with indecision, gave it straight back. Westcott's handball for Hansen. Eventually he got a handle on it. Bilston McGillen quickly to Charlie Knott. Charlie Knott dabs it over the top. And once again, the red and black are lining up. Brosnahan takes the mark. He could have kept it moving, but instead he'll take the ascendancy himself from right in front.
Once again, turnover in the middle of the ground by the Blues, and just that chain of hands forward, and they know where they are. They know where each other is, the Zavs. They handball to the area and know a player's going to be there, and that's how they keep that ball moving so fast. It's very impressive to watch.
22 goals this season, Brosnahan. We haven't seen a lot of him today, but he can join in the party and bring up the ton here for the Zavs. This is going to be their 4th goal in 7 minutes. If Wade Brosnahan can kick truly from right in front, 30 metres out, and he does. Oh, what a football team, the red and black. He goes with it. What do you call that, Paddy?
That's a double cobra.
That's a double cobra. Of course it is, Brent. Great kick from Brosnahan. They're killing them now, the Zavs.
Yeah, they certainly are. And it's turned into a goal fest from the middle of the ground. So they exit the stoppage really, really well. The Zavs, Blues are... they're 2nd of the ball at the moment. They need to get some time in possession, and they're going to have to do that by winning the contest.
Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ. We award our best player of the game a pair of new skins.
Yes.
It's pretty hard to pick one, I'd say, at this time of the game.
It is. That's I think first time you myself have called with Brent, so we might hand that one over to Brent.
Oh, thanks
for the
Hugo.
day. What do you think?
Good luck. Here's Holmes. He's taken a strong mark at centre half forward.
It's been a very even performance by Zavs.
He could throw a blanket over a few of them. So Holmes, he is directly in front, 50 metres out. And this would be for a 5-goal burst in 6 minutes of football.
Oh, he's got that.
Holmes and hosed.
That's a ripper.
109 plays 47. Felt like mere moments ago it was 78 plays 47. That was a three-quarter time score. And the Zavs have gone bang, 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 bang.
That was 5 bangs.
Correct.
Oh, there you go.
Thank goodness, or else we'd be in real trouble.
Yeah, I was counting them too. I was making sure you didn't get that wrong. But that was, once again, the Blues just not winning that contest in the middle of the ground. And Zavs, it's just, they're starting to flex their muscle.
They have barely touched the ball in this final quarter, the Blues. Very disappointing. They've come in winning 4 of their last 5, including 3 in a row, but they are getting their you-know-what's handed to them in this final quarter. Churgwin won't take the free kick here. It is a free kick going the way of the Blues. And they're going to get it up into their forward half. Off the boot of O'Sullivan. It was a 31-point game at three-quarter time. Now things have developed quickly. Up to half forward, Mohammed, the spoil. Probably had rights to take the mark. He didn't. Goddard overruns it in the forward 50 for the Blues. Pokes it out near the boundary line. Hart's handball over his head. And it was broken up by a couple of players there, and we'll throw it in just outside the arc of 50. We'll call it at left half forward for the Blues. Approaching 10 minutes gone in this final quarter for the Australian Venue Company. 16-13, the Zavs, the Blues, the Uni Blues, 7-5.
58 apiece at Brighton Beach Oval. Collegians and the Tunners. Alex Lukic out of the ruck, tying the scores. Wowee, what a result that could be for the Lions. We're with the Old Xaverians right now. Hamish McIsaac skips it towards his cousin Charlie. LaCava socket it backwards. Not usually a great idea. It came off okay, and the Blues will horseshoe. Comes to the hands of Billy Furphy. Up the guts he goes. Charlie Furphy through centre half forward. Kicks it inside 50. Red and black jumpers everywhere. Hart takes the ball. Back to Hamish McIsaac. He goes. Hart was pushed. So he'll get a free kick at right half back for the Red and Black. Hugo for Hit IQ.
Yes, they're bouncing out of the defensive 50, the Zavs, and nothing's going the Blues' way at the moment. But the Blues have been very Stewart conscious. Every entry's gone to Stewart, and that's just played into the Zavs' hands.
Fennelly now left back pocket for the Zavs. Saw in the third term. He's resumed his place in the back 6. Kick. Long down the wing. Not. Here they go again. Bilston McGillen, a running bounce to Simeopoulos. He'll go back across to Knott. 75 metres from goal. Bobby Knott goes inside 50. He wants Delaney. He surely pushed Lloyd in the back. The umpire said no. Okay. The handball was intended for O'Shea. He watched it sail some metres over his head. O'Shea picks the footy up. Toes it to LaCava. That's just travelled the required.
That went 3 metres.
Yeah, Raj has trundled the wheel out from the back of his car. He goes up the line, and the Zavs, though, they're around the place once more. Hansen is involved. He's given away a free kick. He held on to Jack Robinson. He'll take the footy beneath us.
I think that the mark a moment ago, I think the umpire said, this is your early Christmas present. You can have it now. Yes. It only went 6 metres, but I'll pay the mark. Robinson up to the contest on the wing. High flyer in there was Furphy. That's Billy Furphy. Pulls it off the pack. Kick was not designed for Jack O'Sullivan, but he takes it away, and on the runway here's McCulloch approaching the 50, bursts through a Zavs tackler, kicks at the open goal square, never gave it a chance, bounces in for a Blues behind, comes right up against all the scoring the Zavs have been doing up the other end. 7-6-48 the Blues. The Zavs well out in front still, 16-13, 109. We've played 12 minutes in the final quarter.
Let's watch Charlie McIsaac have to drink some pickle juice, and he looks thoroughly unimpressed, but he's jogging towards full forward. No one's with him. It won't matter because the Blues go back inside 50. McIsaac, it was an awkward ball to try and mark. He did a reasonable job, didn't hold on to the footy. Stewart fends off a couple of Blacks tacklers and is eventually held up. The umpire will throw it in the air, Hugo.
You ever tasted pickle juice, Pat?
It's not great.
No, it's
not my favourite.
It's not good. It wouldn't be my preference either.
Woodhouse and Stewart into the ruck, and James Stewart at his bootlaces, laser tackle and Tregar. We'll have some help from Robinson. Ball spilled loose. Taken by O'Sullivan. Snaps on goal. And Jack O'Sullivan puts it through. That's his second of the day. And he's worked hard in the inside midfield. And it's an inside midfield that has been smashed on occasion by the Old Xaverians. O'Sullivan has a couple, and the lead comes back to 55 points. The Blues, they were within a chance at three-quarter time, well and truly out of it now, playing for pride at Toorak Park.
Yeah, that was an amazing 7 or 8 minutes there by Zavs, where they just went bang, 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 I think you said, Paddy. So the game sort of turned into a little bit of a... Is that right? Yeah, I've got it, yeah. Just turned into a little bit of getting through the motions, getting it done now, unfortunately, for the Blues. But there's some players out there for the Zavs who will really be wanting to put their hand up for what's coming in the next couple of weeks.
109 plays, 54. the great thing about that response, or not response, but that little burst from the Zavs was how well they responded to the three-quarter time address of Dan Donati.
They did exactly what he asked.
Yeah.
Put the foot down, fast ball movement.
It's a sign of a good team, that, and a coach in command. Free kick to the Zavs on the outer wing. Short inboard to Knott, who pops it up inside 50 for Ed Delaney, who pulls away from the defender that had him one moment and then the next moment he didn't. And Delaney, gee, they're getting a lot of easy set shots here from right in front, the Zavs.
They do a good job of clearing that space out in that dangerous area, and they're moving into it, where some sides get stuck with sort of congesting that space. And by moving out wider, the defender has to go with them, which gives them that space.
Looking to become the Zavs' 10th individual goal kicker. You can put it in your footy record. Ed Delaney kicks truly, and the Zavs continue to pile on the pain in this final quarter here at Toorak Park, and that's for the Australian Venue Company.
Let's go around the ground. Sorry, Hugo, just to jump in. For Marshall White, we've got, well, pretty much one live game, and that's the one at Brighton Beach Oval. And it's the Tunners that have just kicked clear by a goal through Joey Campilli, 64 playing 58. Elsewhere, St Bernard's by 50 points over Old Haileybury. The Snow Dogs are going to win that game of footy, Hugo?
Just a little bit of getting to know each other in the goal square down there by some players. So there's still a little bit of feeling in the game out here.
Correct. It's St Kevin's by, I reckon, 93 points, if my maths is correct, over De La Salle. And Old Scotch by 82 over the University Blacks. So we don't have the close one, but we have one of the closer. It's been a round of smashings everywhere but Brighton Beach Oval. Phipps Parsons dropped the handball down his front, fed it to Simeopoulos, who wades through a few white jumpers and feeds it wide. Bilston McGillen, good mark. Taylor came late, gives away 50. And Bilston McGillen, big old shove in the back of Taylor. Woodhouse now involved. A Koch is in there. It's getting messy here. Goss has got the footy. He's going to try and jog to the goal square. Yes. Joey Ryan's involved. It's just about an all-in here at Toorak Park as Goss runs to the top of the goal square. This is just his second goal as a senior player this season. And as they scrap in back play, the Old Xaverians pile on another. It is still going. Someone's lost the jumper. Sammy Hansen. That's going to be expensive. There's another whistle here for a hold. I reckon it's a free kick going the way of the Blues in the middle of the ground. Meanwhile, the score, 121, the Old Xaverians, 54, the Uni Blues. Feels almost ornamental at the moment. Goss becomes the 11th goal kicker in the book.
I think both sides will be a few $100s lighter for a Mallow charge there, but it was definitely building. There's been some interesting stuff off the ball. A little bit of frustration by some players.
So the free kick in the middle will be taken by a Koch for the Blues. He was one of the main perpetrators in that little dust-up and ends up with the ball.
He got a few, I noticed.
To the outer side, Lloyd has it. He's having a little look inboard, and instead he just kicks the Blues up towards the attacking 50. No mark to be had. McCulloch overruns the football. It's in and under. Lord, a couple stack up on top of him.
You just noticed then that kick, that was a high entry to half forward of the Blues. They've done that quite a lot today, and you've very rarely seen that from the Zavs. Zavs have been running and carrying through that space.
An 11-goal game here in the last quarter at Toorak Park. Amazingly, 121 to 54. The Zavs have just put the Uni Blues to the sword. They've been one of the form teams in William Buck Premier the last month or so, the Blues, but they are looking like the team that spent so much time in the doldrums in the first half of the season in this final quarter. There's a free kick to Hansen, who's gone with the Tarzan jumper.
Yes.
And they're fighting again on the outer wing. I think we've got another 50. Do we have a 50 here, I think?
The umpire's just trying to sort out what's going on. They've given the ball back to the main umpire. And it's still going on out there. There's not a lot of friendship out there between the two teams. A lot of respect,
One of the umpires was seemingly calling for the 50. The other umpire has the footy and is just waiting with Hansen, as you called it, Brent.
The Koch involved again for the Blues.
He's very willing, isn't he?
He's not alone.
No.
So centre wing out of side, a free kick.
Someone be carded here. O'Shea's been carded.
Yes.
That's a yellow, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, the umpire's holding it aloft now.
Oh, no, that's not O'Shea.
No, I think that might be... we'll just wait for a second until we can figure that one out. So the footy will be going the way of the Old Xaverians. Hansen, as you mentioned, Brent, with the Tarzan off-the-shoulder look.
It's got the off-the-shoulder number there, too.
So I reckon that might be Fulton, who has been shown a yellow. No, it's Furphy, sorry. Apologies, Charlie Furphy. So
So would that be his day done?
He might be done for the day just because there will only be 12 or so minutes remaining in this match. He might get a couple of ornamental minutes at the end, but you'd think Smith might just about sit him. Play finally resumes. Long down the wing. Charlie McIsaac from a couple deep. He wanted to run and jump at the footy. It never got his way, and Not takes the mark for the Zavs. Toes it inside 50. Pilston McGillen over his head. Missed the football. Falling over in back play was Brosnahan. Charlie McIsaac wades his way through to Holmes, who was tackled off it by Townsend. Holmes will lay a tackle in turn. 15 metres out from goal. It'll be thrown in the air. The Zavs by 67 points. It was a 31-point margin, Brent Sternberg, if you believe it, at quarter time.
7 goals to 1 in this quarter. We've still got a long time to go as well. Delaney out of the ruck, tried to throw it on the boot. He did. It went right up and down. Hamish McIsaac can't take it. Semiopolis did. Lost it in the tackle. Drags the kick out into the pocket. Phipps Parsons.
Might have gone a little bit too... Oh, I got too high.
Wow.
He got a free for too high.
Gee, he was lucky not to be knocked off holding the ball. Now he's going to have a shot at goal.
Absolutely, he was.
Just watch Sam Hansen jog off the field with a very pointed glare at the University Blues bench. Not quite sure if a few verbals made its way over as well, but not a happy man, Sam Hansen. He needs a new jumper.
It was very big in the early 2000s, the off-the-shoulder. It was quite a fashion statement back then.
Take your word for it, Hugo.
Yeah, I was alive back then. It's a good time to be alive.
Phipps Parsons snug in the right forward pocket. This is a big kick. If he kicks this, I reckon Raj is going to go and have a chat to him after the game.
Right, there you go.
Only 10 metres out to book a date with Raj Johnston. He's got it.
He has.
Get ready, Raj. Number 55 for the Old Xaverians. He'll be on the mic after the game. He kicks the goal and the margin continues to swell at Toorak Park.
That's our Skins player of the day, who wins himself a pair of cutting-edge Skins compression tights, all thanks to Skins. The pioneers of compression, Sterling Phipps Parsons with 3. And with a few finals to come, he's going to be a protagonist in September. Sterling Phipps Parsons, as we mentioned, such a good year for the Blues at VFL level. 10 games, 10 goals, 10 behinds. It's all about pride now for the University Blues. It's not a day that's gone particularly well.
It's a bit like the Norm Smith medal, the Skins player of the day. You don't have to have a good first 3 quarters. Just do something in the last and you can get yourself up for the award. So, but yeah, I couldn't pick one today.
Just getting a note from our man Raj downstairs that there were a few verbals offered to Sam Hansen as he was jogging off the ground by a few of the Blues fraternity. Hopefully all's well that ends well down there. Here's Holmes. Out wide to right half forward. Hamish McIsaac, pin him back. No, went short to Charlie or Ed Delaney. Charlie McIsaac couldn't mark, and there was maybe a hold, I reckon, as players just gone into the fence. Maybe under his own steam there, Hamish, or was he pushed? Did you say?
He wasn't pushed. An errant hand swung around and got him sort of near the nether regions.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Furphy, that's Billy down the line. Here's Townsend relieving mark. Churban all by himself in the centre of Toorak Park. That kick is hung. It's actually gone over his head, and Jack Robertson, his teammate, has taken the mark on his chest, and now the Blues can move the ball forward.
Right in the middle of Toorak Park, it's a 50-metre penalty, and it will take Robinson to within striking distance.
What was that for? Protected zone?
Westcott running past. I think he jumped into the protected zone a little bit earlier. It's been the story of today in the under-19s, I hear, Hugo.
Yes, it was an amazing finish at St Kevin's D-La are down, and the siren goes with a free kick at 60 metres out, and then a St Kevin's player fell unassisted into the protected zone and gave the 50.
Look at what they're doing with Hansen's jumper here. They don't have another one, so I think they're trying to actually tape it back together, and now his number has been rung, so he's got to re-enter the fray with a ripped jumper.
And I'll tell you what, that tape has not worked. It's lasted all of 2.5 seconds, if that.
I was going to say not even that.
We might get sunburnt on the right shoulder blade.
Yeah. We're looking at Robinson right in front for the Blues. Just a bit of stat padding now. He kicks truly. And he adds his name to the goal kickers for the Blues today in a final quarter that has turned sour. You see players getting their shoulders taped. He's getting the
jumper
taped around his shoulder, although it's hanging off and flapping, isn't it?
He's got to be sun smart with that too, because you don't want to get one burnt shoulder.
There's still a trainer who's come out to him. He's trying to do in-game repairs. I don't know if it's going to work.
Has you got any cable ties, Bruce, that you could take out there?
Take the stapler out.
Incidentally, I think that might be Jack Robertson's first goal as a senior player for the University Blues. He was down for 1 in the book for Play HQ, but none on Premier Data, and going by all the Blues getting to him and patting him on the head and saying congratulations. That might be a nice moment there for Jack in what's been a dirty second half, a dirty fourth quarter for the Blues. 67 points to lead as a Koch soccers it to centre half forward. For the boys from Parkville, Holmes falls atop of the football, and the ball will be thrown in the air here, 55 metres out from goal.
You just get a feeling that the Blues have been up for the last 5 or 6 weeks playing really good footy. They might have just run out of steam.
Yeah, they've run into a red and black roadblock today here at Toorak Park in the sunshine. not atop the footy, will do it all again.
And it's good for the Zavs to get a big score on the board. Like, that's 130 points. Considering the last 2 weeks, they haven't kicked 130 points in the 2 weeks combined.
This is a great performance from them with the finals on the horizon. It feels like they've got a lot of parts of their game back up and running. Churgwin gives it to O'Brien, kicks to the goal mouth. Fennelly, as he begun the game, latching onto those loose kicks going forward from the Blues. Fennelly gets his kick out to half-back. This is Dunn. Connor Dunn at half-back. Sends the kick up towards the wing. They're all grappling. Westcott will get a free kick.
Westcott saw
Cop
here.
one, yeah.
Just talking about that, gentlemen, leading up to the finals, you really want to be having big games and getting better going to the finals. You don't want to use a cop-out that we're just waiting for the finals. You want to be playing your best footy and getting better. So the important factor is they're getting games into players that normally wouldn't get a game at this level, so they know they've got guys who can come up if something happens.
He's one of them in Hamish McIsaac, and a couple of their players that have been down for a few weeks have gotten themselves back into some good form today. Simiopolis and a couple of others. The kick comes right across the half-back line. Trigger wheels around. No one lands at him. He comes to almost a complete stop before kicking it into the back 50 for the Zaps.
Marshall Whitehall, Brighton 71 leading Collegians 59 by 2 goals at Brighton Beach Oval. Maybe enough for the Tunners. We'll find out in the next 5 to 10 minutes. The Zavs trace the boundary line, out of side. All comes unstuck. Curran's got the footy. Gave it to O'Brien by hand, who flings another handball over. Whitehead inside 50. McCulloch can eye the sticks. He's a left footer, and he's kicked it no to the right-hand side. Look good. You can never trust the goal umpire, as you say, Hugo.
No, I've given up on that.
Prepared to watch the ball sail over the hat. No, he misses to the far side, and Goss quickly out the Brosnahan direction, who tried for the fly. Didn't get near the footy, will lay the tackle instead, and it will nest beneath his legs and Jack Robinson's, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball in the air, attacking side of the wing. For the Uni Blues, 66 points to lead to the Old Xaverians, 19-13, 127 for the Australian Venue Company. The Blues 9-7-61, 25 minutes gone.
Heading down the stretch at Toorak Park, the Blues will win a clearance here. Curran gets on the end of the handball, inside 50. Fennelly this time with the spoil. Out of the goal square came Stewart. Didn't want to shape up for a shot at goal. He got it to O'Koch, who shaped up for a shot at goal. His kick was smothered. Duncan, handball to Connor Dunn, up to the wing. O'Shea goes over the top of Westcott, makes the spoil. Charlie McIsaac arrives on the scene. Agriculturally kept it alive. At clean bowls Fullerton, and the first one there's Bilston McGillen. Tried to get the handball to Delaney. I don't think he was anticipating it. And it ricochets out of bounds at left half forward for the Zaps.
Elsewhere, St Bernard's 58-point leaders now over Old Haileybury. That's a massive win for the Snow Dogs. St Kevin's by 90 points over De La Salle. Old Scotch by 106 points over the University Blacks.
Keepers. Some big results. Round 17 in the William Buck Premier. It's Brosnahan at the throw-in at left half forward. Handball goes astray. Robinson for the Blues takes it out.
So just talking about that Scotch result. So they were 7 points deficient to Haileybury in percentage. Now, they'll make that up today.
Yeah, they will.
They'll be going in front. That's very interesting. Jesus, they make it into the finals. This could be very interesting, couldn't it?
It really could. It's a 160-point difference between the two squads as far as margin today. So that's a real problem for the Bloods as they try and make finals in 2025 in top flight after winning the Premier B flag last year and coming up. Mohammed takes the ball half back, high on the end towards half forward. Isaac, who went for the fly, he was waiting for a body beneath him. None came, so he just floated through and took the mark anyway. Now he kicks it towards the teeth of goal. Delaney is there across the face, and Conway, who hasn't had it his own way today, punches it out of bounds. Left forward pocket for the Zavs. 26.5 gone for the Australian Venue Company. 127-61, sorry, Hugo.
He always just pops up, doesn't he? He's been a bit quiet the last couple of quarters, McIsaac, and he said, boys, I'm still here. I noticed he took it right in front of us too, Paddy.
Going to need that throw-in again.
Yes.
Barely got out of his hand. Boundary umpire there.
And a note, the Australian Venue Company owns and operates more than 200 of Australia's most popular and iconic pubs, bars and event spaces. You can find out more at ozvenueco.com.au.
Throw in the left forward pocket. Delaney out of the ruck and onto the boot and put it into the post. Oh, that was a little easy. 19-14, 128 the Zavs. The Blues 9-7-61.
There was no pressure around that ball at all then. I think the Blues put the cue in the rack.
Yeah, LaCava's kick up the centre of the ground was, well, pretty dismal, to be honest. Not takes the footy. They're lining up. Bilston McGillen. Delaney will snap around the body. Second time of asking. How's his accuracy this time? Pretty good. And Delaney has a couple now. And the Zavs continue on. This is a beat-up of the University Blues. Their season will come to an end today. Campbell Lane, incidentally, done for the day with the right ice pack on his upper arm, an ice pack on his right upper arm, I should say. Hopefully that's just precautionary for Campbell Lane, who looks to be getting his right shoulder assessed by a trainer on the boundary line. 2014-134, the Old Xaverians, 9-7-61, the University Blues. And that lead is 73 points. It has more than doubled since three-quarter time.
It's their equal best fourth quarter for the season. The Zavs, they kicked 9-2 in the last quarter against the Scotchies earlier this season. They're going in search of a 10th goal. Brosnahan off the back foot, kicked it to half forward. LaCava missed it. Simeopoulos on the scene. Handball for Knott. And they connect the dots again, the Zavs. Duncan, McIsaac, Brosnahan won't quite clear the pack. Delaney was there. And the Blues eventually get some sort of reinforcements back. Mitch Taylor up towards the wing. The Zavs have a 2-on-1. With the one hand there was Lord, and then helping it over the boundary line further still was Townsend. And it's out of bounds below us between wing and left half forward for the Old Xaverians.
They're very good at winning the 50-50 ground ball, the Zavs. They are a little bit of a shorter side compared to other teams in the comp, but dry weather footy is no issue for them.
Hansen again has got the off-the-shoulder thing going on. A tape no good. Big tackle by Duncan on Curran. We'll do it all again.
Boundary umpires having a real issue with throwing the ball in. Very shallow.
It's lived on this broadcast side for this final term. A Koch and Duncan. Duncan, the taller man, loses to a Koch on that occasion. Oh, how good's that? The movement through the pack from Holmes was terrific. His handball to Bilston McGillen didn't live up to scratch, and the kick for the Blues goes just about to halfway. Curran feeds it to the inside. O'Brien steps inside Mohammed and Hansen to Robinson by hand. He kicks it, well, pretty much to nobody, and that's the easiest marking drill I think Tregal will ever see, and he'll move it back and across, and through come the Zavs. Tom Dunn into centre half back, hangs it up for Hamish McIsaac. He's got streaking numbers on the far side. Hart will wait for it. Takes it in the sunshine, feeds Fennelly by hand. They're lining up inside 50 once more. It's just got to take its time in getting to Woodhouse, who leads up to the footy now, and he'll mark 50 metres out from goal. Woodhouse, he's got 3 on the day from 52 metres out, tucked against the boundary line. He might have a shot for his fourth, why wouldn't you?
Zavs have been excellent at not bombing the ball to half forward. They use a lot of care through the middle of the ground, find that overlap run. That's a great format. And they're excellent by foot too. They very rarely miss a target.
At Brighton Beach Oval, Old Brighton 77, well 83 now, Collegians 60. So for Marshall White, it looks like the Tunners have survived the Collegians challenge. Westcott's got a chance at 4. Tough angle. 52 metres out, left footer hits it well and truly skinny. Out of bounds on the full. 134 plays 61. 73-point leaders, the Old Xaverians, for the Australian Venue Company with 31 minutes gone in the final term.
With that result over at St Bernard's and Collegians losing, that'll put the Collegians down in the relegation zone.
It will.
It's busy down the bottom end, isn't it?
The only saving grace, I think, for Collegians from today, they play De La Salle next week.
What are you trying to say, Paddy?
Uh-oh, Blues from the kick in. Delaney can't cut it off. The first one there is McIsaac. Bilston McGillen turned into the oncoming Mitch Taylor. And he hit him hard, a ball up.
He didn't lose the ball, though. Didn't spill it out. So he's got the 50-50 ball here. But yeah, he certainly earned that one, didn't he? He's got a smile on his face, though.
He's the last one to rise. Gives the footy back to the umpire. 73 points. The Zavs lead by Hansen's in there with the jumper flailing. Simeopoulos foraging in as well. We'll get another ball up. They've played some amazing football in this last quarter. The Zavs, they are the #1 team for disposal efficiency in William Buck Premier. They've brought that to the fore in this final term, where they have just slayed the Uni Blues. Off a couple of sets of hands, Bilston McGillen going backwards for now, the Zavs. Holmes off the back foot, went straight to Robinson of the Blues, and then to O'Brien, who hurries his kick up towards the wing, where Makuch Mohammed goes up and takes the mark of the day for Gorman Commercial right in the closing stages. That was a beauty.
Just looks after himself, does he, Makuch? Kick inside 50 again. The Zavs and Woodhouse. He comes steaming up. No way around Mitch Lloyd yet. Oh, now there is. Steps to his inside. What's not in the pocket? Hayden Woodhouse, classy. And Knott will have a shot right up against the boundary, 25 metres out from goal, to take this to a 79-point ball game. Knott hasn't kicked a goal yet. He's one of few Zavs forwards to not get in on the party.
He's been very good today, Knott. He's rolled through the midfield, got a lot of clearances as well. So, he's going to do it, I think. Oh, he's thrown the grass up. Matthew Lloyd-esque.
3 goal assists at the last time of RC against the Blues back in round 7 and no goals. He can step around now on the left boot and kick his first. He angles the kick into the post. 2015-135, the Old Xavs, 9-7-61, the Blues. 33 minutes gone for the Australian Venue Company in the last turn. You can pluck the margin out of thin air pretty much at this point of the game. 74 points it is.
Limping our way towards the end of our William Buck Premier Match of the Day. SEN and the VAFA website as well. O'Shea helicopters it into the middle of the ground. Stewart takes a nice mark. Just backward of centre, he's been completely blanketed in this final term. Delaney has to chase the ball back and give it to him. Maybe lucky not to be 50. Stewart out towards Lloyd. It was important in the first half for the Blues. That kick's no good. It's not going to reach its destination. Holmes, he's been good. Coming back into the Zavs team as well. As the siren sounds at Toorak Park. And if you thought the Old Xaverians weren't going to play their part in the top 4 this year and they were limping to the finish line, think again. They have pulled the Uni Blues apart at Toorak Park and smashed them by 74 points. 2015, 135. The Uni Blues, 9-7-61. A 9-goal quarter has done in the Blues today in the sunshine at Toorak Park. Here's Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
Well, very dominant display by the Zavs today, who affected by injuries, and it's got some big names out, but the guys who have come up have acquitted themselves very well. And you can see the consistency of training between the club. We spoke to Dan Donati about this. They train a lot together. The guys who come up have just played that role, and you need that, and that's encouraging going into the finals. But the most encouraging thing is they kicked 135 points, had 35 shots on goal, which sends a message out that they're here to play. Very impressive. And, you know, we expect the big players to be dominant, but I think we've got Dan Donati now.
Well, no, our Skins player of the day is Sterling Phipps-Parsons. He kicked 3 goals and he was terrific across half forward. He's joined by Raj Johnston.
Here's Paddy. Thanks for your time, Sterling. Congratulations, our Skins player of the game, and very well deserved it was. You must be so proud of your team to see that result on the scoreboard.
Oh, very. We played a team game the whole time. It's great to come back. Obviously, I felt like I never left, and it's great to be around the boys again.
Sterling, how have you found your year, mate? We saw you playing a lot of VAFA footy last year. You were terrific, and you got 10 games under your belt with Carlton VFL this year. Kicked 10 goals, 10, and you had a superb season. How has it been coming back to the VAFA? How have you found the pace of the game?
Well, it's been good. Get that pre-season under the belt for Carlton, so it's been good to get to that next level. But just love coming back playing with the boys. Doesn't get much better than this, so yeah, stoked.
Hugo here, mate. You must be really happy for the guys who have had to come up and play those roles with all the injuries you've got at the moment, because you're looking like a well-oiled machine out there.
Yeah, it's super. Like, it's just next man up mentality. We've got so much depth here as the twos get up pretty much every week. So it just goes to show how good the culture is here, that everyone stays, considering the twos can pretty much play ones anywhere else. So that's great.
Last one, Sterling, before you make your way off for the song. What do you think of Sam Hanson's off-the-shoulder look?
It's great. He's got quite the rig, so I think he's happy to get it out.
We were mentioning that they were trying to tape up his jumper just to hide it, and he said, no, thank you, I'd rather run around with the chassis out. Yeah. Fantastic stuff, Sterling. You're our Skins player of the day. You've won yourself a pair of cutting-edge Skins compression tights. All thanks to Skins, the pioneers of compression. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Sterling Phipps-Parsons, our best player afield today with 3 goals. In a Zavs beat-up of the University Blues. 2015, 135 defeats 9-7-61. The Zavs increasing their margin at every break by 14 points at quarter time, by 29 points at half time, by 31 points at three-quarter time, and by 74 points at the end of the day. Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
We've just been reliably told that that jump is actually a Velcro number because he likes to get the rig out, so It's quite a regular occurrence. So just had a slippage of the Velcro.
Very interesting. Might get a bit of workout in the next couple of weeks, because Sammy Hanson, in his 7 senior games this year, he has been first class for the Zavs. Their goal kickers today, Hayden Woodhouse kicked 3, as did Sterling Phipps-Parsons, the man we just spoke to, Delaney, Westcott, Simeopoulos, Charlie McIsaac and Hamish McIsaac, all with 2. Bilston, McGillen, Holmes, Brusnahan and Goss, all with 1 goal apiece for the Zavs. And for the University Blues, James Stewart kicked 3, Jack O'Sullivan kicked 2 in singles for Townsend, Goddard, Lord and Robertson. Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
Well, it's very telling. That's 11 different goal kickers. So that's a lot of avenues from goal. So you've got mids kicking goals, wingmen kicking goals, halfbacks. It's that's a good problem to have, considering that, it's Charlie McIsaac is the main goal kicker down there and the focal target, but, he can have a bad day and they can still kick 12, 14, 15 goals. So
we'll see if we can get down into the Old Xaverians rooms and tune into their song. Congratulations to the Old Xavs, 74-point winners over the Uni Blues at Toorak Park for the SEN match of the day, and they will be playing for a spot in the grand final in the first week of finals at Elsternwick Park in a couple of weeks' time. Their opponents, Old Brighton, have got away from Collegians with a win. 23-point victors at Brighton Beach Oval, 12-11-83 to 9-6-60. Over at the TH King Oval, St Kevin's, 22-14, 146, if you don't mind. D-Larcell, 7-2-44. So the Scobbers beating up on the winless D-Lar was the case as well for Old Scotch, 19-15, 129 to the University Blacks, 3-6-24. That is a shellacking. 105 points, the margin of victory for the Cardinals. And we have a live score at the moment from St Bernard's College, where the Snow Dogs, in fact, that's just gone to full time. 21-15, the Snow Dogs, 141. Old Haileybury, 7-16-58. So the Snow Dogs, their season is off the canvas just about. That's 83 points. So it's a massive percentage boost. It's 4 precious premiership points when you consider they play St Kevin's in the last round of the season. And as we flick over the page to the Author Sport Victoria ladder, with those results all inputted, we can bring you the ladder positions at the end of the round of football. Old Brighton atop the ladder by a game from the Old Xaverians, 60 points and 56 points. So it's 15 wins plays 14 wins. So the margin of percentage, Brent Sternberg, is significant here.
Yeah, so that 9-goal final quarter here for the Zavs, by the way, their best final quarter of the season for the Old Xaverians, 9 goals, 3. That is telling because it has now halved the percentage between themselves and Old Brighton. Coming into round 17, it was about 10%. It's now 5%. So the Zavs are at home next week to play the University Blacks. Old Brighton are back at home actually to play the University Blues. So
Yes.
if they want to try and get that minor premiership, the Zavs, they'll need to get another big win, and they'll need the Blues to do them a big favour out at Fortress Brighton, which looks unlikely because Old Brighton never lose out there. But it's been a very, very good day for the Old Xaverians on a lot of fronts.
Yep, so that's the top 2 wrapped up. Now it gets really interesting. St Kevin's, they can't move up, they can't move down. They will go through third, 12 wins and 5 losses, 48 points. They are 2 games back from the Old Xaverians. They are 3 games up the road from Old Haileybury in fourth, 9 wins, 8 losses, a percentage of 99.1. They are 1 game ahead of Old Scotch, 8 wins, 9 losses, a percentage of 105.9. And Old Haileybury play Old Scotch next week. The winner of that game will, unless something remarkable happens with the University Blacks, I suspect it won't, will play finals.
And Old Haileybury are not in good form.
No. It's been a shocking run since the double bye.
And we just noticed a couple of names pop up in the Scotch list that played today, in Sellers and Tarrant. So there's a few others coming
Hugo
back.
Hugo Brommel, Reece Galvin. I think it was up to 10 VFL players, Hugo.
Yeah, that's telling, and that's going to be a cracking game next week. And Haileybury, geez, the narrative around the club during the week, it's in their hands. It is honestly, if they win that game, they play finals. If they don't, then they lose. But what is a bit concerning is their probably form over the last 5-6 weeks has not been great.
1-4, their last 5 since the double bye. So it's all fallen apart for the Bloods. They still have destiny in their own hands. Win and they're in. That's as simple as the equation can get. So Old Scotch with that big win, they're back into the finals discussion. They are out of the relegation discussion. The University Blacks, they are also 8-9, but their percentage at 82.7 is pretty poor. So they are outside of a mathematical impossibility, let's call it. They are not going to play finals in 2025. And Dale Bauer, the road for he and his men ends at round 17. The University Blues also out of the finals hunt. They are also significantly out of the relegation race today. They are 6-9. They are 7th on the ladder. They have a percentage of 90.5. But with how things have shaken out between St Bernard's and Collegians, they will survive in 2025 because St Bernard's are 8th on the ladder. They are 6 wins, 10 losses and 1 draw on 26 points. 4 points ahead of Collegians, 9th on the ladder. 5 wins, 1 draw, 11 losses on 22 points. There is a 4-point gap, a 1-game gap between the Snow Dogs and Collegians. Collegians percentage 90.5, St Bernard's percentage 79.5. Collegians win next week and St Bernard's lose. It will be the Snow Dogs down to Premier B in 2026. Anything else? If both sides lose, if St Bernard's get any amount of points from their game against St Kevin's, they will be staying up and it will be Collegians going down to Premier B.
Yeah, that's look, positive signs for St Bernard's because that's a massive win today. That's, to kick a score that big, and they traditionally don't play that well at home. They haven't won too many there. So finding a bit of form, but look at that score of St Kevin's. That's a huge one as well. So it's going to be a cracking final round.
And Collegians are one of the longest tenured teams in Premier A. I think they've been in the top flight since 2007.
Yes,
I think from memory, I called them last week. I just can't quite remember the number. But just on the Blues, they'll be disappointed with how the game today here finished. But they're a team that 4 or 5 weeks ago looked dead and buried. So I know they would have liked to have maybe had finals to play for next week by winning today, but they've assured themselves of a spot in the A grade next year, and a month ago that did not look like the case. So Matty Smith and everybody at the Blues, first-year coach, by the way, don't forget, deserve a big pat on the back.
Yeah, and we spoke to Matty Smith on For the Love of the Game during the week, and we've spoken to him a few times on air this year. We've heard how he's developed as a coach, and he's managed to coach his team out of troubled waters. Dan Donati is the coach of the Old Xaverians, and on our Wingate post-match show, he's going to join us inside the commentary box to chat all things Old Xaverians, a 74-point victory, a massive final term for the Old Zavs, and they are still in the hunt for the minor premiership in 2025. Dan Donati, that must feel pretty good.
G'day, boys. Yeah, look, it certainly does. Sorry, I'm blowing the trees down in front of the stairs. No, look, it was good. Blues had a fair bit to play for today, and they've been in really good form. So we prepared for that. Hopefully, you guys had a good view from up here, but look, it's always good to have a good win. There's no question about that at home, and yeah, obviously locks up a top 2 finish for us officially as well. So yeah, really pleased. Yeah, good.
Something you must be really happy with is your spread of 11 goal kickers. That's encouraging moving forward.
I think we've had a pretty good... I certainly am, 100%. You always want a lot of goal kicks and different options for us. We've had a pretty good spread most of the year. When you're kicking 20, we haven't relied on a 7 or 8 from Mackayzak or 6 from Delaney. We just haven't done that all year. Every now and again, one will kick 4, one will kick 5. But yeah, it was really pleasing today for the boys to get on the end of a couple and kick some snags for sure.
A frustrating trend for you, Dan, in the back end of this year. Your form has been good, but you just can't seem to keep guys on the park. Unfortunately, we saw Tex Wanganeen with the right shoulder. Campbell Lane also came off the ground, did finish up the game with the shirt off and the ice pack on. I'm hoping that's precautionary. Jed Fennelly also saw. What's your bill of health today?
Yeah, three sore shoulders is probably the bill of health. I think they'll all be okay. There was nothing stupidly... Look, Tex is a bit of a worry because he come off twice. I had a good chat to him downstairs. He was more precautionary. He wasn't going to come back on. He thought, no, I'll go back on. I need a bit of a run. So I'm hoping he's okay. Laney got a whack, and Jeddah copped a stinger, which he's had a couple throughout the year. So, yeah, we've had a stiff run the last 4 or 5 weeks. It comes on in waves sometimes. We had a really good run for quite a while. You don't want to get an end of the year. So hopefully the boys will be okay, and hopefully they can play next week. And if they can't, we've got a week off and we'll go from there.
Outside of a couple of those injury concerns, Dan, we've spoken a little bit in the post-game before you got here about this. This is a great day for the Old Xaverians. A lot of good things happened for you guys today, obviously finishing the way that you did. And a lot of the guys that you've had to sort of call upon coming in and having really profound impacts. And even a couple of guys, your senior players, that have maybe just been a little bit down the last couple of weeks. I'm talking about Semiopolis and one or two others, all getting back into some good form and getting your game holistically up and running as well.
Yeah, no, good call, all those ones. I thought the young boys in the middle were great today. I was saying to the boys before the game, Xavier College 2021 graduates, they won the premiership in the APS that year. And our starting midfield today was 4 of them from that year, all 22-year-old kids. And they haven't played a lot of midfield together at Old Zavs because we've had Stavro and we've had Fisher and we've had other guys there. I thought they were great today. I thought Sammy Hansen's job on Churgman was outstanding. He's an absolute bulldozer. Again, 22-year-old kid. He was great. I thought Benny Bilson-McGillan through there was fantastic and getting Fipper through there. And I thought Oscar Duncan was great in the ruck. So I thought the kids were great, and you are right. I thought Dennis played his best game since he come back from overseas. He's obviously a quality footballer for us in his last season too, so it was good to see him play well.
So, Dan, talking about finals are approaching, how much pressure are you feeling yourself, especially, you must have some horrible nights when you think about the injuries you got, and you think, oh, geez. Yeah. But there's also two types of pressure, the inside pressure amongst the group and the outside. How's that all going?
Yeah, no, the pressure stuff, to be fair, doesn't worry me, to be honest, at all. I mean, it's not my first rodeo coaching a footy team and footy club, and, you know, you've been there and done that a number of times. It's a different kind of pressure, I guess, and it's a pressure you kind of welcome. Like, the fact that we're second on the ladder, if you had given us that at the end of last year, like, you'd take that any day. I think the improvement of the group, the excitement around the football club. We haven't been here for a while. We haven't won a final since 2016. We're all well aware of that. But you know what? That's kind of what it's all about at the end of the day. These kids all want to improve, want to test themselves against the best, and you got to do it against the best. So, to be honest, the internal pressure, for me, it doesn't really exist. Externally, I couldn't care less.
So the pressure of expectation. Couldn't give us stuff about that.
No, you know what? It
you
is
can't
what
control. You can't control that.
Can't control. It is what it is, mate. Yeah. I've got full faith in what we're doing, mate. We'll get out there, and that won't play a part in the big day anyway. Yeah. Not from my perspective.
Yeah. So one thing that's really encouraging for you coming towards the finals, I mean, you kicked 135 points, something like that today. The last 2 weeks you kicked 50 and 60, I think. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been saying to the boys all year, you're not going to win a final kicking 10 goals.
No.
You can't do it. And you typically kicking 10 goals because the side of slowing you down. Conditions might not suit, but typically you're just not getting the ball going quick enough with enough pace in the ball, certainly from half back. And look at the focus. It doesn't mean you're always going to kick 20. I think we've kicked as much as anyone in the comp this year, so it's been on our terms a lot. But when it's not, it's hard. You've got to find other ways to win, which we did last week.
What about your back line, Dan? They weren't really tested too much in that final quarter, but during the week you spoke to us about the guys being a little bit undersized back there. And I think in the first minute of the game, Jed Fennelly takes that wonderful intercept mark and sort of sets the tone. How did you make of the performance of the group back there today?
Yeah, look, I thought they worked bloody hard. Look, we're not a tall back line. That's pretty obvious. I thought Hardy's job on Stewart was great. Yep. Stewart's a star, and he's an absolute man mountain. I thought Hardy worked. I mean, Hardy be giving him 4.5, 5 inches, I reckon, and obviously a few pounds too.
About 20.
He's a giant Stewie, and he's obviously such a great player. So I thought he was fantastic. Jeb was awesome behind the ball. That group, that back 6-7, I thought young McCutch was great again today. Yeah. He's just showing some stuff, and I thought Gossie's run again was great. So they've been together most of the year. That back 6, back 7. We have 1 or 2 changes, but I've just been happy with the fact they've stuck together. There's 2 or 3 blokes playing twos at the moment that want to try and sneak into that back 7. It's not easy.
So just, one thing, the 7 minutes after half time, when you ask them, they play exactly the way you ask them.
Yeah.
So which must be encouraging that they know they can flick the switch, because a lot of games, especially finals, can be defined by 7 or 8 minutes when you get a margin and
Definitely.
You can defend that for the rest of the day.
Yeah, no, 100%. In the third quarter, obviously, they had the breeze. I thought we had a heap of chances in that third quarter. I said to the boys at three-quarter time, we had executed better. We kicked 2 or 3. Missed Charlie 3 or 4 times inside 50, a couple of floaters inside, and they end up finally breaking and getting the goal. But I thought to break even in the third, that was probably where the game was won, because it was a 3-goal breeze. I reckon in the end they couldn't bridge it.
How are you going to fit all the players coming back in?
Oh, I don't know yet. I actually don't know. And people ask me, I'm not the sort of person who sits there and says, this is my best 22. I haven't done that. Things change too much too. I've, again, been around too long. Everyone says to me around 16, I don't care about that because things change.
Yeah, you can waste a lot of time thinking about that.
You can, and Stavro goes down and Fish goes, see, there's no point. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a real challenge, especially off a good win. How do you put 2 or 3 blokes?
Good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have at this time of year, definitely. It's going to mean there's some tough conversations, which I can't stand. Yeah. No coach loves that stuff. But, look, we'll see how we go. Next week's another week for guys to have the opportunity. But hopefully we've got a full squad to choose from in a final, outside of, obviously, the obvious. And then, probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 really tough decisions for us. Yeah.
Dan, we'll see you in 3 Saturdays' time where you take on the Tunners. That one's locked in for a spot in the grand final in 2025. Yeah. Wonderful achievement to be in top 2, so congratulations on that. Enjoy the win and look forward to chatting to you in a few weeks' time.
No problems, boys. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Dan Donati, the coach of the Old Xaverians, for our post-game show. Victorious by 74 points today over the University Blues. The Old Xaverians doing it very nicely indeed at an important time of the year, Brent.
Most wins they've had in a home and away season, the Zavs, since 2019. 14 wins now. So it's hard to believe that. Thank you, Hugo. About time I come up with one right at the death there. It's hard to believe that they haven't won a final since they last saluted, isn't it? I mean, this is a big, powerful footy club.
Yeah. When you consider this was the team to last defeat Old Scotch in its premiership run. They defeated Old Scotch at Camberwell Sports Ground in the last home and away game of the season, the Zavs, but results didn't fall their way. Fitzroy had to beat Collegians for the Zavs to make the top 4. That didn't happen, so they just missed out last year. They are not going to miss out this year. They're right amongst it. They're going to give the Tunners a run for their money. They've lost, though, to the Tunners twice this year. They've only lost to one other team once, so that really explains the year the Zavs have had.
Just on that, finals are a different thing. They're very hard to win because you need so many things going your way, and don't forget you're playing against the best sides in the comp, and everyone's focused on it. Yeah. So it's look, they're doing a really good job. They're setting themselves, and then we'll wait and see what happens in a couple of weeks.
A mark of the day is for Gorman Commercial, Melbourne's commercial property leader, Brent Sternberg. You called it for Makach Muhammad.
The one at the end there, right in front of us.
Is he going to hold on to it?
I don't know. Is he?
I think he is.
Yeah, I think he was, because the only other one I had was Hamish McIsaac, that very brave one going backwards. But nothing compared to that one. That was outstanding.
Yeah, we'll leave it to McCutch, who has been so impressive, as flagged by his coach Dan Donati a few minutes ago.
He's one that's going to be on the end of one of those tough chats, I reckon.
Well, he's done himself a lot of good service today. That was an outstanding game.
He would be quite unlucky, I'd suspect, but this is a very, very good footy team with a few very, very good players currently plying their trade in the reserves. The goal of the day is for Higgins, better painting management. I might give my vote to young Archie Lord of the University Blues.
Yeah, that's the one I had. Yeah.
Along the carpet, left forward pocket, outside of the right boot, very clever indeed.
Well, I don't just get involved in these conversations anymore, because everything I put up, everyone shuts down. I saw the best goal of the year, and Petchy put that to bed straight away on me, so I can only control what I can control.
We didn't have too many. I mean, the Zavs ended up kicking 20, but they had so many shots from right in front.
But Ben Townsend won for the Blues. That was very good.
Yeah,
that was earlier, and that was nice.
Yeah, super stuff.
But it doesn't matter what I say in this anyway.
Our post-game show is for Wingate, a leading alternative investment manager focused on property debt, mid-market corporate debt and direct property investment. You can consult everyone here at Toorak Park for more about that one. Gentlemen, I think we are just about done here from Toorak Park. It's been a big day for the Old Xaverians, as we've mentioned ad nauseum. 2015, 135, defeating 9-7-61. The Zavs over the University Blues by 74 points, well and truly locking up a place in the top 2 and a place to try for the grand final first in 2025 in 3 weeks' time comes September. Brent Sternberg, wonderful to call alongside you today.
Thank you, Paddy. I'll see you again tomorrow out at Icon Park. And if this is my last time on SEN this year, good to see you and call with you again, Hugo. Brucey, not so much, but thanks for pushing the buttons. And looking forward to a big September.
Correct. It's going to be a ripping September. Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ. Impressive once again.
Thanks, Paddy, and Buttons, and Brent, and Raj. But no, it was a good day. It was very good to see the top end really flex their muscles. So it's going to be great. I mean, geez, what a week we've got coming up too. It's exciting.
A big thank you to Raj Johnston on the boundary for us today, and both coaches for the access they allowed us into their huddles and conversations post-game. It's always a pleasure catching up with those in charge across Top Flight Ammos. For now, it's the Old Xaverians continuing to march towards September and a return to the very top of Top Flight.
This has been the SEN Match of the Day. Thanks to William Buck. Join us again next week on the SEN app, sen.com.au and vafa.com.au.
Tickets are now on sale for one of the signature events on the VAFA calendar, the 2025 William Buck VAFA Finals Luncheon, held on Friday, September 5 at Zinc Fed Square. Join us as we celebrate the road to the VAFA and AFL Finals with 5-time Premiership player Dermot Brereton and 2-time Brownlow medalist Greg Diesel Williams. Secure your tickets today at vafa.com.au.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.